time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, I cut that off too soon. I want to hear how that continues, that song. There is another verse. I'm going to have to do it. I'm just going to have to wait one massive 5-minute intro just to have a tune.
I wouldn't mind, bro. I'll sit here all day for it.
All right, guys, big up to everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining us yet again, guys. This is our Champions League preview today, guys. The Champions League is back, the greatest competition in club football, and probably the biggest two, I don't know, this is proper football royalty. Liverpool, Real Madrid tonight. And, you know, to chop all this up, I've got Ensman TV with me. We've got Cav on the way as well. You got Enz, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, as always. Looking forward to this game, man. Champions League is back now. We're were we 5-5 or 6-6 in the Champions League group stage? So, hopefully to make it 7-7. So, looking forward to it, man. I'm here for it. Revenge time, as they say.
It is a revenge time. Big up everyone in the chat. And look, we'll talk about this quickly because I've got a video about this on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, we've got the big FSG video. I've got Kurdish on with me on that. If you guys know Kurdish from Sam's channel, and he's big on the Twitter and the spaces and everything. So big up Kurdish if you're watching. He's on tomorrow night, guys. So we'll chat about it a lot then. But look, I know you guys talking about FSG. Look, me and Enz are talking in the back. Look, FSG, I don't know how to put this without getting everyone hating me. I know everyone's angry. I know everyone's angry with FSG at the moment, and the fan base is, and there's a lot of content creators who are really angry and upset, and there's a lot of talk at the moment. I'm not angry. Me and Enz were just talking about this. I haven't got any anger in me for it. I'm sort of like, what's that emoji? I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to think. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying FSG lied. Did they lie? I'm not sure they did. They just basically said, I think that statement that came out, I think if I can find that statement again for Wednesday's show, I want to find the whole statement. Because on there, they don't just say this club's for sale and nothing else. They all do say they'd rather keep the club and look for investment. So I don't think they lie to anyone, say. It's a difficult one. Let's get Cav in here as well. Cav is Mr. FSG. How you doing, Cav? You're muted, Cav. So he comes in.
While he sorts that out.
He comes in late. He hasn't got his microphone ready.
Just to kind of touch on it, because I know you're going to cover a lot of it on the show. It's just, look, they never lied to us. They never their statement was a broad statement. It was just more, if they could get investments, then cool. But if a good offer came in, they'll take the offer. But probably no offers have come in that they would like to take for the club. Majority of the fan base want them gone. Are they bad owners? No. Would we rather them spend more money in the transfer window? Yes. But it's just a toss-off in terms of what you want. But if we really want them gone, we kind of have to, do you know what I mean, pull our finger out as a fan base if that's what we really want. But, you know what I mean, when you do your show on it, I'm sure there's a lot more to kind of cover and digest with this.
There'll be loads, yeah, there'll be loads. Kev, your little...
Mic check.
Mic check's good, mic check's good, you're good, you're good, you're good. What's your feelings on all? What's your feelings always? Because it broke last night, the FSG. Like, cause it basically broke from his own newspaper. I do believe it's the Boston Globe. It came out in his own publication about the Liverpool ownership, and he's looking for investment. The wording, like, there's a big statement on it as well. I know there was a shortened clip that Sky brought out, and that got published on Twitter. But there's a bigger statement that goes more in depth on it that I'm going to try and find out. But on there, I think, like he says, I believe FSG have never sold a franchise as long as they've had something. They've never sold a franchise. They've always had investment. The way he talks about they're looking for investment and they think it will happen sounds like I think they got something lined up. But, Kev, the whole thing is that the fan base are angry at the moment because they feel they've been lied to. Do you feel like you've been lied to?
You've not been lied to. You're like,
we're going to see, I'm going to get so many people unsubscribing.
I hate to inform you guys, but the statement said they were looking for investment. They never said we were up for sale. Like, and people were reading between the lines, including myself. I'm guilty of it as well. And trying to put 2 and 2 together and coming out with 5. You know, the club never once come out and said they were looking to sell the club. So this is the second time they've actually come out and officially spoke on the matter. And they've just almost reaffirmed what they said the first time around, which is what they're looking for investment. So we can't claim, we might be upset at that. You might not be happy as a fan with that because you might think that FSG and their model and whatever they come up with, their new model moving forward, isn't enough to compete at the top. That I could accept your argument for, but you can't say that they've lied because I don't think that they have. If they'd come out and said we were up for sale and then done a 180, that would be lying, but that's not the situation. So, yeah, a lot of upset fans, but maybe I think a lot of people should just, you know, digest the information and try and understand the information for what it is, you know, understand the truth and then vent their anger in the right way, you know, and at the right things. Because to say that they've lied, I don't think they have, to be honest with you. But no. I know you're going to do a show on it. I'm sure you'll chop it all up. I think a lot of people are going to be upset because they probably thought that there's going to be like these lifesavers, you know, for investors that come in or that buy the club, and then suddenly there's loads of money there and it'll just like catapult us back to being the very, very best. And I think now that is probably gone away, people are like, well, what are we left with? And a lot of people who don't think what we're left with is going to be enough. So time will tell.
No, exactly. No, I haven't seen it. Send it to me on Twitter. And
I think Joyce's tweet, if I'm, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the tweet I seen from Joyce was that John Henry said that there will be investment made financially into the squad this summer to allow him to make a change. So it's not all bad. I don't want to talk too much on it because I know you're going to do an actual show, but it's not all bad. I think just very quickly from my point of view is I'm happy with what FSG have done for the club on the pitch and off the pitch. My one thing was that I just wanted more money to be spent on the squad. And if they're going to stay and that claim, you know, that tweet is true that they are going to invest into the squad and we're going to be able to make changes, then that almost gives me what I was asking for. We don't know how much money, you know, we hope it's enough to get the reinforcements we need. But, you know, from my point of view, I'd be quite happy with that. If they stay, they remain sustainable. We don't get into any debt. They don't take any money out of the club. The revenues continue to increase. We reinvest it back into the squad. We pay off the stadium, training ground, all these things so that all the money we generate goes back into the squad and then they add more money as well, I'd be okay with that.
I agree. I am so like 50-50 on it all so far, and I can understand people's upset. I ain't going to pretend like the people that are upset over it. I understand they're upset. I do, but
because what you're competing with, that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's what we're competing with, exactly. But look, we could say we can get owners similar to Man City, similar to Newcastle, but if we keep finishing second every season, what's the difference? Do you know? If we're still finishing second every season, like we were anyway, what's the massive difference? I know a lot of people are like they don't actually mind FSG, but a lot of them are like they're worried about the longevity. They're worried about they'll win a title every other year or every so often, every 5 years or something like that. But they want it continued success at the top of the pile, and to have continued success at the top of the pile in your domestic league, it's very hard in this country. City are doing it obviously because they got their wealth is unlimited. But Man United did it before that because their wealth was unlimited compared to everyone else. But if you go back, to when the Premier League started, I do believe Liverpool are the third highest spenders in the Premier League era since 1992 or something like that. Liverpool have always spent money. I think there was a time in the 90s and early 2000s that Liverpool actually spent more money than Man United, but couldn't get over the line and winning titles and stuff like that. So. Yeah, and look, and if City get alleged to do what they've been doing, then you put a massive asterisk against their whole time under that ownership in the Premier League, and then it don't actually look too bad. But I don't know. I don't know. And what were you going to say, man?
No, I was going to say, can you guys hear me clearly? Yeah.
Definitely.
It could make sense in terms of us spending more, but you have to kind of look at the squads we had at that time as well. So we had to spend a bit more than probably most of the other clubs, because Man United, Arsenal, they tend to have had like top players at their club. We didn't in those moments, so probably like revamping the squad would have cost a lot more for us to do it at those points. So probably we have spent the most, if that's true. But that's the only thing, like what Cav said, the only thing that we really want from the owners is just to spend a bit more money on the squad. We have a good squad as it is. It's just about refreshing it and get new ideas in. Obviously, everyone will say it's the midfield area, which is true. But at the same time, we've got, 11 players. We might not have the quality in there, but we've got the quantity. In the summer, we're going to have a massive clear out. So let's just see what happens then. Do they invest in it? Because I think they will. I just don't know who we're going to kind of get.
I think it's vitally important, whatever happens, that we get the right director of football in place, and then the scouting team below that, we get the right people in place, and everybody's kind of working in harmony, because we've seen from other clubs and how successful we was with it, a few years ago, that recruitment's everything, and Liverpool, hopefully we get into the top 4 this season, but either way, we're going to be a massive attraction for players. We can offer them a chance at almost every trophy in this country and in Europe. The money's got to be there, but we've also got to identify the right players. And I do think that we've probably went through a period of being really good at it and picking out some gems, and then we went through a period where some of them there's some players that still have question marks over them. So I want to get back to being really smart in our scouting and recruitment as well. So if FSG stay, there's evidence that they can get the right footballing people in place. They just need to go and do it again. Luckily, we've still got Klopp here. So from the footballing side, if he can get more support, then he'll be okay. We just need to get all the other people around him staff-wise, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Look, guys, we'll talk more about the FSG stuff tomorrow night with Kurdish on the channel, guys. So, yeah, make sure you tune in at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, guys. It's probably going to be a bit lively. So make sure you tune in. So we're going to talk about Liverpool Real Madrid today, guys. Liverpool Real Madrid is tonight a proper European game, between two European giants. And right, let's talk firstly about the injuries for Liverpool. So, guys, I did my video yesterday, and we watched the press conference with Jurgen Klopp live. I don't know how I'm getting away with it, but I am. And apparently you can, though. I found out something about it. You can live stream the press conference. So Don't know how, but you can. And we did it on the channel yesterday, and he was talking about Darwin, and it was before training. So it was before training, the press conference. He said, like, the injury ain't really anything. It's just more pain in his shoulder, and if the pain's fine and he's all right with it, he can deal with the pain, he'll play. And then, obviously, training photos come out later that day. You guys probably saw Darwin in training. So how happy are we that it looks like ends that Darwin should be fit for this game today?
I'm massively happy, man. Obviously, the word that everyone associate with him is chaos. So I don't think Real Madrid is going to expect what he's going to do to them. He looks a lot more comfortable now in this team. He looks like he's now becoming one of the senior players in terms of the way he's been playing. He looks like he's got his chest out now. I'm here to play. I want to score goals. I want to create for this team, and I want to give everything. So he's a massive, massive boost to know that, look, he's not going to miss the game. And I don't want, one of the things that we was kind of talking about before is I didn't want that front three to kind of get rotated because I think they're building some sort of chemistry now. So it's good that that's not going to be broken up for this game. But at the same time, obviously the team news ain't out yet, so we're only speculating. Exactly. Maybe Klopp put him on the bench and then put someone else in and then put him in. I don't know what the pain is like. I don't know what it was like after training. So fingers crossed he's all good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what he does against that Real Madrid defense because they've been shaky this season.
Yeah, I mean, look, us three are probably Darwin's biggest fans, right? Everyone else seems a bit iffy with him, but I think us three, and no more than the man damn right there. Ab, you love Darwin. I think you're happy to see that he's training and it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. For this game and for the weekend.
The rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He, like Ian says, pace, power, enthusiasm, always got. Yeah, filters through the rest of the team, seeing a guy work that hard and fight up the top end of the pitch. Any kind of loose ball, any ball into the box, he'll try and attack. Any space he can run into, he'll try and run into. The criticism's been his finishing in front of goal and maybe his link up with his teammates and stuff, but there's improvement there. You've seen it with the assists that he got and stuff, where he is actually starting to pick his head up now and look at who's around him. So that's really encouraging. Last couple of games, it looks as though that relationship with Gakpo is starting to develop quite nicely. They're interchanging quite well, providing different options in our attack. That's benefiting Mo as well because he's able to get more involved in the game. And Mo also, you see with that assist that he got, he comes in field and he's starting to pick up other people's runs now and is able to be a creator as well as a goal scorer. So I just think he's majorly important to us in how we attack. He's going to be an outlet as well if Real Madrid get on the ball and start to dictate play. So he's really important. And as good as Jota is, he's still a way off being fully match sharp. He's match fit, but I don't think he's got the sharpness yet. He looked a bit like he was running in treacle when he came on the pitch last time out. Firmino looked amazing, but he's a completely different style of player. And if you put Firmino in for Núñez, you lose a hell of a lot of pace in that attack. So, yeah, it's really exciting to see. And also, it's something different. I mean, we've played Real Madrid so many times, even when we've been at our very, very best. And we have had pace and we've had power in Sadio Mane and Salah when he was at his best and stuff. But I do think Núñez offers something a little bit different. Maybe that rawness is something that we perhaps need. Because I felt at times we went into games against Real Madrid where I'm like, this is the best side we've had in so long. Like, if we're ever going to compete against them, it should be now. And we didn't. So maybe this little bit of unpredictability in Núñez is going to just be something that, gets us across the line. So, and it's at Anfield and it's under the lights and the crowd absolutely love him. So it's just gonna ignite that flame that we need at Anfield, that powerhouse that we know we can be. So yeah, he's massive for us.
And look, this front three, you bring up Cody Gakpo as well. And Cody, since he came in Liverpool, his position has been a bit strange on the pitch. He's playing he's a left winger naturally, but Liverpool seem to be playing him a lot through the central area and a little bit deeper as well. When he plays on the left, he comes in deep as well. And I think I'm looking at that. I think at the beginning of the season, big up Jen. I got your super chat. I'll read it out in a minute. Thank you. At the beginning of the season, I think Liverpool tried to change something with their system, with their tactics. Mo was a lot wider left train. get Darwin through the middle as that lone striker, playing to Darwin's strengths. And I think we went away from something at Liverpool that might not have been broken before and tried to change something new. And I think Klopp has spoken about this. He didn't think pre-season was long enough and he couldn't work on what probably he wanted to work on in pre-season, and it just came into the season and he tried to go with it. And now I think you're looking at it, and at the moment, look, I'm going to say this front three, and this new front three, no one go and shoot me. I'm not comparing them player for player. But when you look at Mo, Gakpo and Darwin in the last couple of games, the way they're playing and interchanging position and their movements, the way they come in deep and their pressing ends, it does remind me of that Salah, Bobby, Mane relationship, if that makes sense. What's your feelings on it?
Yeah, I get your point, because obviously I think Gakpo is playing as a false nine, so it looks similar with obviously the two wingers, like they're playing as a forward, but they just stand out in the spaces and then attack the middle.
Yeah.
The only difference I'd say with that front three with this one, I think all of them in this front three possess speed, power, pace. They all can shoot, which is a good thing. The only thing we used to say about Bobby, he links play well, but he never could finish really. But I think Gakpo has the best balance of that, so he can link the play well, but he also scores goals. And I like the way that he interchanges with him and Nunes. So Nunes will be through the middle, or he will be out on the wing, vice versa. But where Bobby never did that, Bobby was always in the middle, being the facilitator. So that's the kind of difference in the evolution of what we're trying to do. And yeah, you're right. In terms of the pre-season, I'm so used to seeing Liverpool play like 8 games, sometimes 9 games in pre-season. And I think this year it was only 4. So it felt really rushed. We didn't get the players in that we needed to kind of get in. We was getting players back from injuries as well. So it was kind of a weird pre-season. And then we attacked the season in the first Charity Shield game. And we was like, okay, cool. Maybe everything's all right. But then later down, you see the effects of not having a solid pre-season or playing enough games in pre-season to get that match sharpness, like what Cav said, instead of just have the natural fitness, because they all fit. It's just a match sharpness, playing games after games, get into that rhythm. But yeah, back to the kind of similarities. Yeah, I think Gakpo, I think he actually the evolution of him being in this team now, I think is a lot different to compare with Bobby in there. But it's good that we still have Bobby as well. So if you ever want to swap that out, I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, I think Klopp's just gone back to what he knows and what worked for Liverpool. And, you know, maybe when they saw Cody, like we've been speaking about many times with Cody Gakpo, what do Liverpool see in him to what, you know, as you say, and you've seen him a lot more when he played for PSV, and he's a left winger, and, you know, he's quick, he's got ability, and, you know, he's great on that wide area. But it looks like Liverpool's seen something a little bit different about him, the way, you know, he's got very good close control, you know, in tight areas, and he is actually quite decent with his back to goal, and he's good on the half turn, you know. And Liverpool have seen something there, and they've gone, and I don't know if they fell into it, but they've sort of stuck them 3 out there, and they look like they. No, I said this the other day. It's sort of like they look like they get on. They're like a good bunch of lads. Like they like each other. I know you don't have to like each other, but it looks like there's a relationship there with those 3 at the moment. And you know, I think it's helping the team. I especially think it's helping Mo as well, because you know we've been saying it for a while about Mo. He doesn't look impactful in games because he's so wide, you know, and he's walking around. You're not getting the best out of Mo. In the last couple of games, Mo is now on the width of the 18-yard box where you want him, right? That's where you want Mo. And I think that is to do because Cody Gakpo is coming so deep to receive the ball. Mo has space now to get into that area. Now, before, when Bobby was playing at the beginning of the season, the problem was Salah couldn't get into that area because Harvey Elliott was playing in midfield, also wanted to be in that area. And Harvey would get into that area first, leaving Mo to stay out really wide. Now, as people have pointed out, Cav, Harvey's taken a back seat the last few games. You know, he's taken a back seat in the last few games, and when he has actually come on, he's coming on for Salah and he's playing in that right wing position, which we've all been crying out for, like getting more in attacking areas, because that is where he should be playing. And do you think Klopp has just looked at this season? Because I will say one thing: I haven't heard much of Pep Linders for 2 weeks, but I don't know about you guys. There's no quotes, nothing's come out about Pep, so I don't know if Klopp's just like, look, we've settled it down. It looks like he's gone back to what he knows. He's gone back to a more, I don't want to call it a workhorse midfield because I think it's disrespectful, but you know what I mean by that. The midfield we had under, Stefan Bajcetic looks a bit like what he's doing, the role Gini did alongside Fabinho. He's doing that role at the moment, and he's got that technical ability like Gini did have. You got Fabinho, who's looked a bit better in previous games, but still not up to scratch. And you've got Hendo, who's giving us that press on and off the ball and that high energy. So Cav, do you think it looks like Klopp's gone back to what he knows, just with some new players in his team?
Yeah, it does. It does look a lot like that. And just to add to because you made some very good points on them players that you highlighted, but just to add as well, the fullbacks look as though they're impacting the game in the same way that they used to as well. Exactly. And they're getting forward. They seem to have a bit more energy about them. And they're putting in, deliveries and getting into areas that we're used to seeing them. Trent's being effective from everywhere on the right side of that pitch, not just up near the edge of the 18-yard box, affecting the game from deep and stuff as well. And we're seeing Robbo, running up the pitch and being his high pressing, energetic self. And, in attack, he's sort of doing the overlap, the underlap. He's getting into nice goal scoring areas sometimes, but he's terrible at finishing. And he's sort of finding his way as well back into some good form and affecting the attack in a good way. So yeah, there are shades there at Liverpool of old. I think Bajcetic coming in has massively helped. He's gained us some control in the midfield. He's working hard. He's getting across the pitch. He's covering ground. He's winning the ball back. And then he's, keeping quite a nice tempo and how we go forward. He's giving it to the players that can affect the game in the right areas at the right pace, and things like this. So Henderson's energy, as you say, is doing what it usually does, which is nice to see. And like you say, Mo then especially is being able to find himself in areas and receive the ball, quicker in transitions to allow him to go and affect the game. The build-up has been so slow this season that Mo's had to find him. He naturally starts out wide right, but when the game's happening and the ball's transitioning from defense to attack and we're moving the ball quickly, he naturally drifts inside. But because the build-up's been so slow, he's just being stuck out on that wing. And it's nice to see that we're sort of getting more control in the game and we're finding confidence in our passing. Do you know what I mean? We're actually playing the ball into people's feet, into, in front of them, almost encouraging them to go forward, put it in space where, you're trusting your teammate to actually get to the ball and then move it forward again. So the passing's just got a lot more confidence about it. And often it looks like a simple pass, but I think I said the other night that when you lose confidence, you just play so many safe passes, and then that you wonder why the tempo's slow, you wonder why the build-up's slow. Is because you just don't take any element of risk. You don't put any pace on the pass. Like when you pass it into your teammate, you just hit it to make sure that he has it, as opposed to giving it him and saying, go and do this with it. I'll put it in front of you into your running stride. I'll put a bit of pace on it, maybe a bit of curl on it. And I just trust that instinctually you'll get to it and we'll be able to build from there. So that's some things we've improved on. I do wonder if maybe the 2-day break that the lads had, where Klopp told them to go away and just, talk, and I think Henderson and Milner spoke to the squad and sort of they seemed like a bit of a point in time where they just got themselves together. And from then, obviously, they had the Everton game, which they needed to be up for. And it was just a point in time where they were able to sort of go again and sort of reset and go back to maybe, like you say, some of the things they were used to doing. So, but why not? Do you know what? Why not? I know a lot of people don't like the 4-3-3 because they think it's maybe done now. But actually, with new legs in there, and with new legs and new players come new ideas as well. So it will always be slightly different. Why not do it? It's a system that's been massively successful. And if you have the pace, you have the legs and the energy, we have it up top at the minute. The midfield's going to need adding to. I would very much like us to progress with it because it's attacking style football. And I think you can, have really exciting games and win trophies by playing that way. So, credit to them for sort of, it looks as though they've kind of sorted themselves out and there's some like familiarity in the play now. We just need to build on it. It's a short sample size. Everton was a derby and Newcastle went down to 10 men. So two unique games in a way. But we just need to try our best tonight. Real Madrid will be a strange game, I think, in terms of how you assess the system moving forward. But Palace, definitely, you want to see him get a result and a positive performance. So, yeah, back to old, but I think that's maybe a good thing.
Definitely. Before I just carry on, I just want to answer early rise. A big up to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I lads, do you feel fan channels who have access to players and managers are compromised and reluctant to be too critical at FSG? Look, maybe. Look, if they got, you're probably on about people like Redmen TV, Anfield Rap, and stuff like that. Look, it's also their business. You know, this is their livelihood. Also, like Paul Machin and Playpool like that. I can't speak for them. I don't really know them, but they seem like sound guys to me. I know they get a lot of abuse, which I think is wrong. They're just doing their job. They're literally just doing their job. It's their business. It's their baby. You know, he brought that up from nothing. You know, 500,000 subscribers on YouTube for a Liverpool fan channel is massive. You know, because that's going to be all Liverpool fans. You know, their own website. It's their business, man. It's their business model. Like, everyone has a business model and goes with that business model. So I don't think, though, they're scared of calling them out. I've heard them call them out before. You know, the whole Super League stuff, they were done with them. So I don't think they're scared.
You don't have to watch them.
No, but you don't.
If you don't agree,
there's plenty of choices out there. There's plenty of choices. I'm just my independent self with the guys there and all that on my own channel. Would I want to interview FSG and Klopp and all that? Of course I would. Would that I have to change maybe the way I speak about certain things? Maybe, but it wouldn't stop me still talking about it. Maybe I'll just have to pick different words. I'd have to say, you know, but I'd still talk about it. I wouldn't lie to myself or lie to the people. So, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but look, it's their business, it's their livelihood. If that's the way they want to go with it, like Cav said, everyone's got a choice. You can just turn it off. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why YouTube's a great thing. Of like mine, Enzy's channel. You know, you got Savage's channel. You got Stubbsy. You got loads of Liverpool channels. Coppish. You got all these channels. This is football. Who's Sam? Big up you. You got all these channels where people can just go and get their Liverpool takes if they want. And yeah, I would. Yeah. I mean, that's my opinion on that in a way. That's my opinion on that. To you, early riser. Big up to you.
Also,
right,
as well, just to quickly before we finish on that point, if they have access to the players and the manager and stuff, right? Why are they gonna rock up being critical? Like they're not they're football observers. They're not experts. Like, you reckon they're gonna do an interview with Henderson and be like, "Yo, this balloon pass you keep doing, man, you got to cut this out." Of course they're not.
Do you know the thing though, Kev? I'm trying to look at it from the other standpoint. I think because they have access to the players, I think some of the fan base is thinking along the lines of, we need you to be more honest with them because you have the access to kind of tell them how we actually feel. Instead of you on one side of it, you go, "Oh, nah, they're rubbish players. They should be doing this, blah blah blah." You have the moment to actually be in there. And then you don't. I'm not saying say it in the same way. I'm not going to say, "Oh, you're going to turn around Henderson. Are you rubbish?" Don't do that pass. But like,
yeah, exactly.
Fan base, from what we're gathering from our channels, like the fan base, what we're seeing in the kind of the community, the fan base has an issue with that pass. Is it a pass that you're training to do, or is it a tactical thing, or is it just something you want to do, or you tell the players the instruction? But from the fan base side, we're like, we don't understand why you do it. So maybe you shed some light on it. I think that's where the fan base is at. I don't think we want them to go on there and just rant and rave about the players and say, "Oh, no, you shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, blah." I just think when they see them not interviewing players or not around, have a certain standpoint, but when they're around the players, it's kind of two-sided. I think the fan base really want us to be, if we're going to act this way, just be this way in front of them. Don't do one way and then go the other way. But I it's their own business. They have to do it their own way. So I'm just trying to think from the fan base.
No, you're right. You're right from that. You're dead right. And also, there's a way of wording things. You know, no one's like, you're not going to get someone on your show and just go like, "Endo, you know, you're crap." But everyone wants me to tell you this. You know what I mean? Like, but I literally think people actually want them to say that. That's the mad thing. But Also,
and then he goes, who's them? And you go,
yeah, exactly. A couple of people on Twitter that
a few guys on Twitter. All right, so okay, I'm a professional footballer, right? Yeah. I've been in this club for over 10 years. Yeah. I've won every trophy. Yeah. Are you a footballer? No. Okay, cool. I'll listen to that guy on Twitter then, shall I?
This is the thing, and also we don't know what they talk about because I think a lot of their stuff, their interviews, are behind the paywall, and then they just put out clips on YouTube, don't they, for you to tease you with to go and pay for it to watch the full interview. So I don't pay for any of their stuff. I mean, but if anyone does and they know more, let us know. But I'm sure when they do these big interviews, like when they were Klopp in pre-season, I think they did an advertisement on YouTube, go to their website, but go behind the paywall, and then see the full thing. So they might ask these questions. We just don't know because it might not be visible to us. And we're only guessing from like 4 or 5 minute snippets that they put up on their YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So we have to go. But at the end of the day, it's their guys' business, man. They've got a good business. They've got a great brand. They're doing good stuff. At the end of the day, there's so much choice out there. They're not talking. Now, Red Men TV don't talk for me. They don't talk for you guys.
No.
They talk for themselves and the people that might follow them. But that's the great thing about YouTube. You can get a camera, get a microphone, and start your own conversation, man. It's a great thing. But yeah, back to the Liverpool game. So yeah, Gakpo, Darwin. So if Darwin's not fit, guys, say Darwin, Klopp's just a bit, wants to make sure he's good for Palace, because that top 4 race is very, very important. And our next 2 league games, I believe, are Palace and Wolves. And Klopp might be thinking, we got a possibility of winning both them games, and then we're only a point behind Spurs. So say he doesn't start Darwin in this game. Who do you go with, Jota or Bobby? Do you go Bobby through the middle, and then put Gakpo out on the left, or do you bring Jota on, put Jota on the left, and leave Gakpo centrally? What do you reckon?
Do you know what I was caught into minds because I'm thinking, for one, I don't really want to rejig the team too much. I like where Gakpo's at the moment. In the last 2 games, he's shown that he can play in that false 9 striking position. But he did this at the World Cup, so it's not nothing new. I just think Klopp saw something and gone, do you know what, we can try him there because he did well for Netherlands in that position. What I don't want to do is if Darwin is out, then we just put another man through the middle and then put Gakpo out on the left. I think the guy I would start is keep Gakpo through the middle and play Jota. I think it will offer us that kind of tenacity, speed. He's very good left foot, right foot. He can cross the ball. He's good in the air. And obviously in the past 2 games we've seen him come on. Like what Cav said, he is fit but not match sharpness. So even when the couple of passes he got in the last game against Newcastle, you can see he's just a yard off. So I think he'll be the guy that I would start because he gets himself into good areas and he scores goals in the Champions League as we've seen. So he'll be the guy. And that's not a knock on Bobby. I just think I don't want to change the team too much. I like where Gakpo's doing what he's doing at the moment. Let him stay there. But in my, the other side, I'm like, I shift him out in his natural position and then play Bobby through the middle, and then we'll still do well. But just whatever you want to take. But I would say keep Gakpo through the middle and start Jota on the left.
Yeah, I mean, Cav.
Yeah, great points by the way. I don't know. Well, I seen Jota running down the left wing at one point, and I couldn't work out whether he is just so slow because he's getting back fit, or whether I was just used to seeing Darwin Núñez run. He was running at one point. I was like, oh my god, this guy is so slow. But yeah, it's a very tough one because if you put Bobby in, I think he tries to play that role very similarly to Gakpo, and I'm not sure if it works necessarily. So yeah, I would probably put Jota in for that reason and just take the chance. He is a goal scorer. It's important that for me personally, I think it's important we get a win tonight because I think once you go to the Bernabeu, it's going to be a real tough game over there. You hope to get as as many goals as possible and build up a lead so you can really take something over there. But even then, they have shown it last year in their run up to the final. They can sort of turn the tie around in the matter of minutes, not even a full game. So it's a tie that's going to be contested properly over 2 legs. I don't think anyone's going to win it in one. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I think it's important that we get, like I say, we win tonight. And so therefore I'll probably put the bigger goal threat in, which is Jota over Bobby. But out of the two of them, I thought Bobby come on the pitch, last game, and I thought he looked really good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? His touch, his confidence. Yeah. He did one turn, he come deep for the ball and he shaped to go right and he went left, and I was like, oh. And then the first thing that comes to my head was like, as good as Gakpo's been, he don't do that the same. And now that's where I'm like, that's the kind of level I think I need Gakpo to get to if he's going to do that false 9 thing. But you could play Bobby for the defensive point of view as well. Having an extra body in that midfield, because we all know Real Madrid's midfield is super strong. Dependent, I think Kroos might be out, but they're definitely going to have Modric and Tchouaméni and Valverde and Camavinga, and the list goes on, doesn't it? So. The midfield is often where these games have been won and lost, and maybe he drops Bobby in there just to have an extra man to support what's been an underperforming midfield for the most part this season. So a few ways to go, but I do think that Nunes will be fit, so I'm hoping we don't have to really think about this too hard. I think he's posted online today, which he usually does, like a little preview for the game and stuff, which usually a telltale sign that he's he's ready.
I think Darwin will. Look, if Darwin trained, you know what Klopp's like. If they're training, they can play. Simple as that. So, and look, he was in full training as well, so he weren't training on his own or anything. So if he's in full training, that means he's taking knocks and hits to the shoulder. So he must be fine. So if he can do that, he can play, in my opinion. With the Bobby Jota one, if Klopp had to make that choice. If Darwin just wants to make sure Darwin's okay, it's hard. It's an hard one because I think of Bobby and his experience in these nights. You think of Bobby and his experience of these nights. When he came on against Newcastle, I thought Jota was more of the goal threat, but you can see the touches that Bobby's still got. Bobby's never going to lose that, is he? There's a couple of times where you think he's lost the ball and he's just taking it around 2 men, without moving, and he's like, that's Bobby. That's what we love about him. And then he's got that final pass. But Jota, as soon as he came on, Jota's just looking to do one thing. He's looking to attack and put the ball in the back of the net. He had them 2 headers. The first one he probably should have hit the target woke, but that second one towards the end of the game, just before the final whistle, that looping header towards the far post. You know how hard of a skill that is. That wasn't an easy chance by any of the stretch of the imagination. So he had to really stretch his neck as well. You see his neck muscles really coming up, and there's and the way he got to the header of that, because the ball just floated, didn't it? It didn't come down for ages. It literally just floated. You think it's going through, and I think was it Gakpo on the back stick? I can't remember it was now. Can't remember it was on the back stick Bobby trying to get it at the back stick that just missed him. Yeah. So it's a difficult one, but hey, ain't this the whole point of having a squad? Ain't this the whole point of having a squad? That you got different quality on the bench that you can look at. They're not the same player. You got a Jota there who's a bit more of a goal threat, a bit more direct. Then you've got a Bobby there who's got this massive match day experience. Big game experience. Not to say Jota ain't, but Bobby's got big game experience, and also he can do things. He can link that midfield like Jota can't. Bobby can. So this is when everyone talks about squads and we should let this person go, let that person go. This is the whole reason of having a decent squad. If Darwin's not available, we're talking about Bobby and Jota replacing who to pick. I don't know about you guys. For me, that's only a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Bobby's been good this season as well. Obviously, a bit of time out with the injury, but prior to that, he was our top goal scorer. I'm not sure if he still is, but he was our top goal scorer for a long time. And he was finishing things that you're not used to seeing Bobby finish. You know what I mean? Like running onto balls and tucking them in the bottom corners and stuff. And you're just like, whoa, where's this guy come from? But if he could find that kind of form from earlier on this season, then he is a goal threat. Do you know what I mean? Then he is that goal getter. And like you say, he always has that touch and that link-up play and that little bit of flair that I think Mo especially likes. did you notice when Bobby come on the pitch against Newcastle, Mo just seems to like not come alive because he was playing well anyway. But you almost see this like happiness in his face. Like when he receives the ball on the wide right, he always looks for Bobby because he knows he can give it him and get it back. And he just, I don't know.
It can pass. It can pass. Like you're saying, Kev, he can pass knowing Bobby's there.
Yeah.
This is, I think, been Mo's problem all season. Mo has been used at Liverpool playing a certain way under Jurgen Klopp with Bobby and Mane. You've taken two of them out of the system and brought in new players, and then we adapted to a way that don't suit. I don't think it suited the front three we tried to adapt to in the way we wanted to play. You know, having Diaz so wide, Salah so wide, and then Darwin, that central figure, and everyone trying to assist him. I don't think that suited all three players, to be perfectly honest. I think what they're doing now suits all the three players, and now, I think that's another reason why you're saying, Cav, that Mo looks better because, you know, he's not so wide now. Come inside forward again. You know, Gakpo's sort of doing a Bobby job, but then when Bobby comes on, Mo knows what he's got. You know, I can play the ball to Bobby. Bobby's definitely going to play it back to me. Because, you know, when we've been saying that we haven't seen Mo make them runs like past the fullback, or, you know, that run he does in the channel just off the centre back and, you know, gets in between them and stuff like that. He hasn't been doing it because he hasn't had that partner with him in the attack to help him achieve them. Now, when Bobby's playing, he knows, pass to Bobby, I can do a 1-2, I can give him goes and stuff like that. It's just that comfort zone. It's like having your best mate. It's like having your best mate about that. You haven't seen him for years and years and years, but as soon as you see him again, you just click back into the old way.
It's like when your cousin turns up at the family party. It's good vibes, you know. You talk to your aunties and your uncles, but then when your cousin turns up, it's like, now we're partying now. But I do think as well, there's an element of predictability about that as well. Real Madrid, you know, I know Ancelotti, you know, famously said that we're predictable. I think if we went with Bobby and Salah, I think he'd know exactly how to stop that, and that's not a good thing, is it? So again, it goes back to the whole Nunes point. That's why we want to see him play, because there's no way you can predict what this guy's going to do, and that's a positive for us in this game.
Go on, Ince.
No, I was going to say the same thing, to be fair. I think I don't want us to kind of change it back to the norm, especially when Real Madrid has played us so many times, only just played us in the final of the Champions League. I think just keep Gakpo, keep that unpredictability, and then if Nunes is fit, great. If he's not fit, then play Jota. It would just be something different that they're not used to. I don't want us to go back to the norm for this game and go, we need to control what they're doing in the midfield. Nah, let's just focus on what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks and keep doing that, because it seems to be working. But yeah, man. Hopefully, hope for a win, man. Hoping for a win.
Yeah, definitely. And look, I think Darwin will be that something different, especially if he plays.
Yeah.
You know, a Darwin, Gakpo and Salah front three is far less predictable than what Ancelotti had when he last faced Liverpool. And you don't know I don't know what Darwin's going to do. I don't even think Darwin knows what he's going to do half the time. So how Ancelotti's going to know what Darwin's going to do? Yeah, it's like, if Ancelotti knows what Darwin's going to do, the man's a genius, because, you know, and Darwin's even good against low blocks, because Darwin don't give anything up either. Darwin don't give anything up. And also, Darwin likes to fight. Maybe a bit too much sometimes, but he's in for the fight. He don't carry away. He's up for it. I think Darwin likes this kind of game, the big stage. I think that's why he came to Liverpool. He wants to play on the big stage, and nothing's bigger. And Gakpo at the moment, look, there's also a thing as well. When players are in form, they stay in the team, and everyone else has to work their way in. Now, we're going to have this problem when Diaz comes back. You got Diaz, Jota, Bobby there, and people are going to be like, how long does it take till Diaz is back in the 11? Well, unfortunately, if Diaz, Gakpo and Salah are performing as the three from now till as the season goes on, unfortunately for the other three, they're going to have to work their way back in. Nothing should be automatic. We can't just go, Luis Diaz was our best player before injury. Well, he's not our best player right now. So he's going to have to work his way back in. Jota, he's going to have to work his way back in. Bobby, going to have to work his way back in. And they will get their chances. We've got so much football to play. Everyone's going to get their chances. But for the squad we got, I'm very happy with the forward depth. As I keep saying, I think our forward depth is arguably one of the best in the league. People might go, "What are you on about, Jamie? Look at City, Haaland, and but they got Haaland and Alvarez. Foden's in and out at the moment. Grealish, would you have Grealish over any of our attackers?
No.
I mean, and then Arsenal, Martinelli and Saka are great. Jesus is great, but I still wouldn't have them. I've had Saka out of all of them, but still,
it is what it is, Jamie. I think and this is why I don't want us to get rid of any of the attackers. Because it does give us that option and unpredictability off the bench. Because what keeps happening is we'll get rid of a couple of players and then we'll put in some deadwood players. So then when it comes to games, we're like, okay, cool, we need to rest your Salahs and we need to rest Gakpo, Nunes. Then you have these, let's say, foreign entity of players that you're like, I don't even know what he's going to offer us. He's too young. But now we've got a cup quarterfinals, but Salah needs a rest because we've got a Champions League semi-finals coming up. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to keep this core of 6 as long as we can keep them. If you want to replace Bobby, that's cool, but replace him with a player that he can get into the first team. Not we give him 6 months. No, he's going to push the first team. And then when you have 6 players competing for 3 positions, it's only going to be beneficial to the club and us as fans because they're going to give everything. They're not going to be like, I'm guaranteed starter. So even if I have a little drop off for this game, I'll play next one. He's like, if I drop off in this game, there's a guy hungry on the bench ready to just jump in my position. So I like, this is what happens at a big club. Sometimes I think we treat our club like it's a small club. We should have competition. We should have world-class players in multiple positions around the pitch. We should have 2 world-class players in one position. That's how it should be at a big club.
Yeah.
At a small club, you'd be like, okay, cool, 1 world-class, maybe 1 just underneath because I don't want to upset the world-class. But this is what happens. This is why Man City's been able to compete in all the trophies. Man United used to have that. Arsenal used to have that. They used to be able to replace players. Chelsea had that at a point as well. And then now we're a club. For instance, the one that I've been looking at is the Tsimikas situation. If Tsimikas doesn't get enough game time, we replace him. And then it's like Owen Beck comes to a semi-final against a Man City. You're like Owen Beck or Tsimikas. There's a massive drop-off in terms of, I'm not saying the kid ain't going to become good one day, but that's a massive drop-off. So this is what we need to do. We now need to go and get someone to, be a competition.
That's the rumours. Because apparently, I think Paul Joyce tweeted it out that watch out for Tsimikas' contract situation. Because they're saying if they get a decent offer for him, they'll let him go. But Liverpool are very interested in Garvadal, who can play fullback and centre-back roles. So I think he plays fullback for Leipzig at the moment, doesn't he? Or something like that.
He plays centre-back, but he can play fullback.
He can play in that fullback role.
Yeah, he's played a little bit of fullback this season. Yeah,
and he's a young guy, so you can do that with young defenders. You can shift them through. Maybe that's something Liverpool are looking at. But yeah, we can't. The quality has to be there, like you say. What I like about our front 6 as well, it's very versatile. Jota can go left and central. Gakpo can go left and central. Diaz can go left and central at times as well. The only one really is that right-hand side. The only other, apart from Mo, we really got Harvey Elliott for the right-hand side. So, and obviously that's a drop. And that's slagging off Harvey Elliott. Or
Diaz.
By the way. Yeah, Diaz can maybe shift over there in games as well. But Harvey Elliott's a good footballer, and I don't want to get on that. I don't like people that get on Harvey Elliott. If you want to get on him, fine. But I don't see the problem with Harvey. Everyone says about, look at Gavi and Pedri to this world at the same age. Well, take all the 18-year-olds in world football and tell me how many of them are that great. You got a handful of freaks out there, right? And then you got the general population, right? And Harvey's not actually that bad for an 18-year-old. He just not.
Not at all.
And considering Harvey's played probably, as we say, in his wrong position in midfield, he's not actually done too bad, has he? To be fair to the guy. If I got played at a young age and I was more of an attacker and I wanted to score goals and assists and I wanted to play further up the field, and defending in midfield weren't my strong point, but I got told to play in midfield, I don't think I'd be as good as what Harvey did.
So you see the thing with him, because I was one of those ones that kind of said, we needed him at the midfield. I was probably one of the first ones because I didn't see what he offered us in the midfield area. He looked neat and tidy on the ball, which is good. But it was just like, if you're playing in midfield, I need to see, are you scoring goals? Are you helping defensively, or are you assisting? He wasn't doing any of those things. So I'm like, no, put him in his rightful position. Then we started seeing the better of him. He started scoring goals. He started getting assists. But in the last game, he came on in midfield and the team let him down, because these are the things I've been calling for him to do, is to assist. I think he created like 3 clear-cut chances in the Newcastle game. And then every time they missed, you could see how pissed off he was getting, because he was like, I need to get more assists. I need to get more goals. And you guys are missing simple tap-ins. So he just needs to play in his natural position. I think obviously he has an option in midfield. But if he's going to play there, I need him to be as creative as like what I saw him in the Newcastle game. And I need to see him like start scoring some goals. But he's a good player. I don't have an issue with him. I just feel he needs to be in his natural position.
He just needs. I think that even Klopp's looked at it now, because the last couple of substitute appearances he's made has been for in that attacking area of the pitch, and you put him in his more natural position, like Harvey did when he played there a couple of games like the other week. You know, he got goals or he created, and you can see the difference. You know, let him play his natural game when he's young. You know, when they're young, you want them to play their natural game. You don't want to get them to do things they can't quite do, and it's not fair to them. But I do think Harvey got looked at, and you know, when he came into the team, I think Klopp really liked him. He liked his energy, he liked the buzz he gave the team, you know, and he has got technical ability. And I think Klopp's seen it now that Harvey, to get the best out of Harvey, I mean, maybe need to put him more in his natural position. But the problem is there's so much talent in his natural position that he's going to have trouble getting into the team. But I'm cool with that, because Harvey shouldn't play every week anyway. So this is perfect for Harvey right now. Now 10, 15, 20-minute games, coming on for Mo at times. Perfect for him to grow as a player. Perfect for him.
This is what it takes to be at a big club. You're going to have to sometimes not play every game, or play in some games. You're going to have to sit on the bench and learn. You've got to have to work hard in training. But I just think the squad that we have at the moment is good. Obviously, the midfield area we need to kind of sort out. I think the attacking side we're sorted. I think there's no issues there. And the defensive side, I think we're sorted as well. Maybe add one, you know, someone that could probably play across the back line if you want a right-sided centre-back or right-back that can play centre-back, depending on what you want. But other than that, it's just the midfield. And that's an easy position to solve, because we don't have to worry about any other position. Just focus on your midfield options that we need to get in the club.
Yeah, I agree. Now, big up Siberia Super Chat. Much love, my friend. Harvey is a playmaker at right wing, and Salah is a target man at right wing. Got options to have in one position. Klopp just needs to choose the right man for them. Yeah, I agree. And I think Jen, big up to Jen as well. Forgot about your Super Chat. I do apologise. Bring on Tyler Morton. Jen says that because the picture I have of Tyler Morton, that is a prison convict. When I Google Tyler Morton on Google Images, the first picture was this woman who got put in prison in America for something horrendous, by the way. And it's the first picture of Tyler Morton. Google Images. But
do you know, just quickly before we finish on the Elliott point, if next season we're brave and we put an extra attacker in, whether that's a 4-2-3-1 or whatever, right? We could afford to lose Mo in certain games, because we'll have enough attacking quality on the pitch. And so you could put Elliott in on that right side. Can you remember remember the Palace game that we won 7-0? Salah didn't start, but there was still good attacking options, obviously, because we scored 7 goals. I know Salah comes on and gets a couple.
Taki start. Taki
scored, and then Mane scored and stuff. Yeah, but I'm looking at opportunities like that where we're playing the likes of Palace and stuff, and you're able to pull him out, but you've still got enough. If you've still got the fullbacks on the pitch, you've still got 2 or 3 other attackers, whether it be Diaz, Núñez, Gakpo, so that should be enough. And then that's where Carvalho, Elliott's opportunities come, you know, from a starting point of view. They can pull the likes of Salah out and give them a shot, because that team should be capable of beating them kind of sides, especially if we're, you know, in a good moment, in good form and what have you. And then look, if he comes on and makes his substitute appearances and then he plays the cup games, at his age, he might feel like it's a step backwards, but he should never have really been in a position where he's starting so many games anyway. So his development's still going to progress. And I think then, like En says, you're at a big club. It's on him to force his way in. And if he forces his way in, that's a benefit to us anyway. So I don't think we need to worry about Elliott and Carvalho and this and that. What we need to worry about is getting first teamers in the summer in that midfield. These
Yeah.
guys become second options, if you like, from the bench,
Mhm.
and then see how they go. They're not old players. They're very much young, and they've got time on their side. So then it will be down to them. But at least we'll be
I agree.
benefiting and getting a first team that can compete again.
No, I agree. That's what we got to do. I think Harvey just got played too much, and it's not his fault. It's just that manager wanted to play him. The squad weren't quite right. Now the squad's a lot better. You're seeing Harvey taking a back seat a little bit, which he should do. He's 18. You shouldn't be relying on an 18-year-old boy to prop up your team week in, week out. It's not fair. But let's talk about another 18-year-old in our team right now, Stefan Bajcetic. Ends as Liverpool landed themselves. Look, people are going to go mad at this when I say it, but Liverpool sort of landed at themselves a £40 million midfielder here, and
the rest.
because I say 40 million because I'm being cautious because I know that you know what I mean. But
108.
Because I look at it and think, if Liverpool got their targets in the summer for the midfield, they tried to, and then we got no injuries, I don't think we even seen Stefan Bajcetic this season. And I don't know if we would have seen him in the first team, full stop. Now, Klopp, not to say Klopp fell into him sort of thing because he had to put him in the team because we had no one else.
Mm-hmm.
But, the same way Trent, he came into the team after Klein got injured and we had no right backs. Trent was the next man. Trent was a midfielder in the youth. If you read the stories, Klopp and that asked the youth team boss at the time if they can make Trent a right back and coach him as a right back to get into this team. That's what they did. That's why they got him in the team as a right back to take over Klein. And he's never looked back. I'm looking at this kid right now and thinking, right, Liverpool might have stumbled across a 40 plus million pound midfielder here. Yeah. He's got a lot of quality. He's good on the ball. He doesn't shy away. He's not scared. Everyone thought he was going to get outrun by Everton. Remember all the stories? Like Everton's midfielder going to completely outrun him. They're all big lads. They're going to destroy him. He completely controlled that game of football in that midfield. You looking to him have a big game tonight?
First, obviously, we bought him in at the club. Brought him in as a centre-back, which was crazy. And then now he can play 6 and now an 8. Just typical of Klopp, really, that, he finds these players that can play multiple positions. The player is very, very good. Honestly, I don't think, to your point, I don't think we would have seen him if he didn't get injured, if we didn't have the team not playing well, if we got the targets in. Because if you look at Liverpool in general, most of the academy players or these, let's say the stars, the future stars, don't really get in the team unless there's an injury or the team is fully collapsed and then give the opportunity to these kids. Other than that, you don't really get one really breaking through into the first team. We bought Harvey Elliott, we bought Carvalho, Bajcetic is obviously we bought as well, and we brought him in at centre-back and now he broke in the team because of the midfield issue. I think a lot of the fan base, or I'm not even saying our fan base, but a lot of the other fan base are probably going to underrate this kid, how good he actually is. And I'm not even looking at his actual physical side of his game. I'm looking at his mental side of his game.
Yeah,
the kid's mentality to come into a team and understand that he was a centre-back, came in, plays a 6, then now he's playing in an 8, and be able to take up those responsibilities and kick about with all these top professionals in the Premier League is so underrated, the things that he's now doing. And now, yes, he's gonna be playing against probably some world class midfielders. Sorry, one sec. For my laptop, guys. He's gonna play against these world class midfielders again, obviously for Real Madrid. And tomorrow will be the real test, I think, because he's played against some good players so far, but playing against a Modric, probably a Valverde, Camavingas, who else you want to throw in there, is going to really be a test for him. The technical side. I don't think it'll be the physical side. I think the technical and awareness side of the game, because these guys are not going to be standing still in midfield where you're going to be able to go and just rough them up because he likes to rough players up and let them know he's there. It's going to be about his awareness, where Modric is going to make these little runs from. What's Modric? Is he going to touch and play, or is he going to carry the ball? He's going to have to be so aware around players like Valverde, quick, powerful. He's got energy for days, can pass, he can shoot. He has to be fully aware with these boys. Honestly, guys, and I'm not going to toot his horn too much, but an 18-year-old and the mentality that he has, and he's got so much more to learn. It's unreal how far ahead of his development he is. He reminds me of when like a Rooney when he broke through, when he was at Everton, and everyone just like, oh, he's just this normal kid. But then he started performing. Everyone's like, wow, he's 18 and he's doing this. This is what Bajcetic is doing. And he has saved us spending, I think, a lot more money in the summer, because I think if we didn't find him, we would probably be looking at buying at least another 3-4 midfielders easily. I still think we need that, but people have to understand this kid is special, man.
Yeah, it's great. And everyone's saying about the like Pat-Man and that are saying about the transfer. So if you look at it, you just brought up Rooney, yeah? He had that one goal against Arsenal, didn't he? He had some few good performances, and all of a sudden Man United bought him for 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right, out of nowhere. Right? Why I valued him at 40 million is because if you look at the transfer market at the moment, how inflated it is, right? You'll see average players go for 20 to 40 million. Like really average nonsense players, going for 20 to 40 million in this country. So in a year's time, like you've got to value a player, not right now, what he's going to give you. And Bajcetic is a 40 million pound midfielder. What you see, the quality he has, if you're going to buy quality like that in a footballer who's already 25, with Bajcetic's qualities, that's 40 million. And he's doing it 18. That's what I mean by the transfer value, And it's the same with Rooney. United saw that. They went, everyone going, I remember when Rooney, Man United bought him for 30 million, everyone's going, 30 million for a 16-year-old? What are you on about? 17-year-old. What are you on about? Yes, he scored a good goal against Arsenal.
By the way.
Yeah, he scored a great goal against Arsenal. By the way, Curtis Jones scored an equally good goal against Everton as well, by the way. And I know what, yes, he had quality. You could see it. He's different to a 17-year-old. Man looked like a full-grown man, didn't he? He had a beard and chest hair and everything. It was nuts. And but United saw something and went, that kid is special. Sometimes you can see a footballer once and you go, right, that's a special player there. You just know it, don't you? Because you watch football. You watch football all the time. You can just see it. You can just see it. And Man United like 30 million. I don't care if it's too much money. Now look at it. He was a top ever goal scorer. He's an absolute legend at that football club. He's a bigger legend than Ronaldo. Come at me, I don't care, United fans, but he is, right? And 30 million well spent. And I look at Bajcetic and I think, what he's doing right now, he is that right player that Jurgen Klopp talks about. Right? He is that right player. And I think Klopp got a little bit lucky. Indeed. You're allowed luck as a manager. There's no doubt about it. You're allowed luck. And he's got him in. And you can tell Klopp rates him, man, because he hasn't been dropped.
Jamie,
and everyone in the midfield is fit. And
put it this way, Jamie. Gibbs White went for 45 million to Nottingham Forest.
Exactly.
Gibbs White, and is Bajcetic not better than Gibbs White? Because I think he is. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about transfer value.
It's 45 million. We probably saved that. But look, time will tell. Obviously, it's just about what our opinions are. My opinion is, I've just looked at the player. I'm not looking at his actual ability. I'm looking at his mentality. And a lot of players have the ability, don't have the mentality. The kid has both now. He has both. And it's just about, can we nurture him in the right way, give him the opportunities, play him in the right games, and help him develop? And listen, his ceiling is crazy, in my opinion. His ceiling is crazy, and it's not overhyping the player. And some will say, look, it's because the midfield has been so shit. Maybe that's why he looks so good. No, I just think even if he came in and the midfield was good, he would probably even perform even better if the midfield was better in terms of their performance levels. So, yeah, man, when you can spot a special player from a mile off, it's just about, can we nurture this kid and bring him up in the right way? I mean, that's all I'm thinking, man.
Go on, Kev.
I see some people in the chat saying they're not getting carried away, but I'm getting carried away. I think this kid's special. I'll put my neck out on the line. I think he's special. I think if you were putting together a starting 11 of young players in the world, you'd go, what? Jude, Pedri, Gavi, Musiala, these guys. I think Bajcetic is in that crowd. I generally do think he is. Plays a different position, obviously.
What's he doing different to Gavi?
No, they are different. They're different.
Yeah, but what is there? Is there a massive quality difference?
He's ahead of him. Go on, Gav. Go on. It's your question. Sorry.
Position's different, so that he gets asked different questions. Gavi's an exceptional technical baller, dribbling, ball carrying, He actually does work hard and win the ball back. Actually,
he's better than
he needs all
Pedri.
the players around him. Carries the ball a lot better. But Bajcetic's reading of the game, covering the pitch, aggression in the tackle, success in the tackle as well. In the air, he seems to hold his own as well. He won't carry the ball as much as Gavi will. He'll look to play it. So the styles are slightly different. But I generally do think if you were putting together of 18, 19-year-old wonder kids, a starting 11, Bajcetic would be in there. I generally think that. I think the kid is so talented. And like En said, his mentality is that of a guy that looks like he's been playing the game for 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it's like you guys have said, sometimes you just watch a player and you're just like, they can come in and they're excited and they're playing for a massive club and that carries them. But he doesn't step onto a pitch like he's pumped and he's like, oh my God, I got to perform. He just steps on like it's another Saturday, like it's down his local pub's team. Do you know what I mean? Like it's cool, I'll go on. I've got my instructions. I'll do my business. And his business is quite often better than every other midfielder on the pitch. So that's why I have such belief in him, because the talent you can see, the output is there, but it's just that unfazedness that he has. It's like, wow, this is going to be amazing. Today's going to be a big test for him.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any bigger than Real Madrid in the Champions League.
If he passes
under the lights.
If he passes the test today, then... But
today shouldn't be... Today shouldn't be something...
Sorry, Cav.
Yeah, go on.
I just want to say everyone chat. I won't put in Pedri and Gavi and Stefan Bajcetic as equals. I look at Gavi as the best, probably teenager midfielder in world football.
Don't worry, Jamie. They will be in the same team for Spain. Playing
exactly. And what's the level? I think for me, Gavi's the best teenager midfielder in world football, right? I think he's better than Pedri, right? And I'm asking, what's the level that Stefan's at? Is he that far away from that level? Because if he's the
I don't
best,
think he is.
So that's what I'm not saying he's like equal or anything like
that. I think if you played them three together, you would probably look at them all as being about there or thereabouts. It's just he plays in England. He plays for an underperforming Liverpool side, and the style is different. I generally think if he was in the Barcelona side right now, you'd be thinking, wow, this is one of the generational DMs that's coming through.
That's
much
a great
like
point.
Gavi and Pedri.
That's a great point. It's a great
I think
point.
he's that good.
Look, would say Gavi, if he was playing for Liverpool right now and we took him out of our youth team and put him in like we've paid Stefan in, would there be much difference?
Yeah,
we can't. It's very hard. No, because I put Gavi as the best. That's what I'm saying. For me, he's the best footballer. He's the best teenager midfielder in world football, in my opinion, right? And he plays in a league that is so much different to the Premier League. You know, the Premier League. You know, I'd love. How many challenges and that does Gavi have to make compared to like Stefan has to make per minute? You know, in the Premier League and things like that. The closing down in the Premier League, the pressing in the Premier League. You know, you don't get as much time on the ball in the Premier League as you would say in midfield in the Spanish league. And so comparing players in different leagues is difficult. But I look at Gavi, for me, the best teenager and midfielder in world football. And Stefan is like that age. So that's why I'm saying, like, how much behind is he of Gavi? If he's only like 2 levels behind Gavi, who I think is the best in his position in the world for his age, then that tells me that Stefan's still a very good footballer. Do you know what I mean?
I think what Gavi and Pedri have both got, and it's remarkable, really. I think especially Pedri in his first sort of breakout season, he played 72 games in that season, which is incredible. Yeah. I think what they've got is at such a young age, they've already got like so many games to sort of support the fact that we think they are generational. Whereas Bajcetic, it's still very early days, but I do think that Bajcetic is probably just 1 or 2 levels, depending on how many levels there actually are, behind those two. But I do generally think it's because we've just not seen him enough as much as these other guys. I think come the end of the season, Bajcetic stays in this team, which is almost guaranteed now. I think maybe we'll be having a conversation going, he's not far off these guys at all, really.
Yeah, it's a good little player. Like Angel's saying, why do we do this with our young players? Badger's played how many games? You're correct. But what we're saying, we're doing the Rooney thing as well. Did everyone say that about Rooney? You know, Man United bought him for 30 million after 6 games? You know, then scored a hat-trick. Then scored a hat-trick on his Man United debut against, what was it? Fenerbahce, was it? You know, in the Champions League. And it's just, sometimes you can see a player. Look, everyone's going to bring up the Harvey Elliott thing. Harvey Elliott's a good footballer, man. He's not as good as Stefan, right? That's clear and obvious, yeah. But they've got different qualities to their game. Stefan, for me, is probably going to have what I see at the moment. I think Stefan's going to have a higher ceiling, right? And could probably, I don't like saying this, but if Stefan continues the way he's playing right now and matures nicely, and he's like 24, and his game's just gone on from what it is now, he could easily play for Barcelona, right? In that midfield. Easy. I don't like saying it, but that's how much I rate him. You can never say the same for someone like Harvey, and that's not dissing Harvey, We all watch football. We all watch football. We all got an idea of how special players can be by just look at them straight away, yeah? And I look at Stefan, I just feel like he's 18. He's strong on the ball. He doesn't shirk a tackle, and then he's also got, he's great under the press. He's got good technical ability, keeps the ball really well. His passing is decent. That will get better as well as he develops. He's not going to be one of these these stat midfielders. He's not going to be one of them stat midfielders. But that's not what he is. Stefan is Bajcetic. Is he a stat midfielder? No, but he's arguably one of the best DMs I've ever seen. What I mean, doing that job. And Stefan can be that. You can just see a player and look at him, like Jude Bellingham at 18. You got everyone watching it and goes, that's one of the best box-to-box midfielders playing the game right now, and he's 18 years of age. It's just, it's just nuts, ain't it? It's just nuts.
To your point, though, Jamie, the difference between, say, a Harvey and the Bajcetic, their ceilings are always going to be different and looked at differently, because one will be looked at how many assists and goals you're going to get. The other one will be like how many goals you can keep out, and can you hold and keep a midfield tight and run around and make tackles. So it'll be always harder for Harvey to look better than Bajcetic, because Bajcetic just has to run around, make tackles, keep it simple. We'll look at Harvey and like, no, Harvey, you should have scored that, or that's an easy pass, you should have done better. So it's always going to look different in terms of their ceiling. But to your point, look, some people think it's overreaction, but it's not. He's one of those special players you only get to see now and then. Like, no one realized how good Gavi can be, and Gavi's a player that can play in the Premier League. So to your point, Jamie, he's one of those robust players. He likes to get in your face.
I saw it for Spain.
He's a feisty little player.
He was tackling and everything.
He's a serious player. And I saw this when he was like 16. And I was like, no, this is why I wanted Klopp to go and get him. And I think we were rumoured or linked to getting him before he signed a new deal at Barcelona.
Contract.
So, but we got Bajcetic now. He's a young, talented player. We need to make sure we nurture him in the right way. And like to my point and Cav's point, tonight will be another test for him. Because as I said, it won't be the physical side of the game. It's about, what is he like, awareness like? What is he going to be able to pick up the Modric when he makes these little tight runs off his shoulders? Is he going to be able to match, the energy levels of a Valverde? Is he going to have to match the technical ability of a Camavinga in the midfield? And even Dani Ceballos now, he's looking good. I don't know if you guys obviously watched Real Madrid games, but he's now looking good
last game, didn't he?
So obviously it's not going to be just down to him in the midfield tonight. And that's if he plays. Obviously we're just, speculating. Klopp could just turn around and go, nah, Naby's in tonight. So if he plays, I know, I'm just saying, we don't know when the team sheet goes out.
I'm an old man then. I'm an old man.
The biggest question mark for Bajcetic tonight, I think, is positionally.
Yeah.
Because as seen in the final, Modric has the ability where everything was kind of done right. Robbo's pressing up the pitch or whatever. In one pass, he takes 5 men out, and they're in a space where they can hurt you, and inevitably they did. For the most part of that game, we managed to deal with it well. And the obvious threat in Vinicius Jr., I think we managed to do quite well against him. Konate was amazing. But I do think Bajcetic he's got to be positionally so intelligent, because Modric isn't a player that you can just go and simply press, because he'll weave his way out and he'll just take you out of the game, and he'll take, with his passing, 2 or 3 out of the game. Yeah. So he's got to recognise if let's say it's a Fabinho or Henderson that plays and it's the same midfield, he's got to recognise where the others are and fill in and then be aggressive when he needs to be the aggressor and things like this. I think, like I say, positionally tonight is going to be so crucial because you can have all the energy in the work and the work rate. You can have all the aggression in your game against Real Madrid. It doesn't matter because quite simply passing will kill all of that. And they have some of the best passes in the game. Yeah. So depends how the game goes. He's also got to react to the sort of momentum in the game. So if Real Madrid are getting on the ball, positionally, it's going to be key. Also, at the same time, if we do get on top, he needs to make sure he's brave enough to push up and add that extra body into the press, you know. So game intelligence tonight is going to be so key for all midfielders, but especially him in the way that he plays.
To be fair to your point, Kav, he has been doing that in terms of his positioning. He's done that really well in the Prem. Obviously, now is a different task for him against better players, but world-class players. So it's going to be tough for him, but I think he has it, man. And I don't think he'll shy away from when receiving the pass and driving forward. I don't think he's that type of player to go, the occasion. I don't think he cares. I think he's that player like, who are you? I don't care who you are. And he's probably one of those players as well, because I think he has the mentality. He would probably sit there and watch videos on the players he's going to have to play against tomorrow and what they're good at, what they're not. And he's that type of player to go, okay, cool, when he picks it up here, I need to be... I think he's that type of player, in my opinion. I think he's serious about what he's doing. And obviously, his dad was a football player. Helps.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. A better teacher.
Yeah, I think didn't Stefan and Thiago's dad play together at, is it Celta Vigo or something like that?
Team.
Yeah. You're talking about Vinny Jr. just then, Cav, and makes me want to come on to the next Liverpool player before we get on to Real Madrid here. Trent. So Trent began up against Vinicius today, more than likely, and we know what happened last time. He had that little, we know what is Trent with his positioning sometimes. He just I don't know what happens. He zones out for half a second, that costs you. Well, I'm going to give Trent a bit of... Trent's been excellent since after the World Cup. He looks like he's worked on his game. He looks like he's gone away, worked on something that, like G was saying yesterday, that he looks like Trent's gone away and worked on it himself. This is him. He's looked at his performance again. It's not good enough. I've got to work on my performances, and it's definitely an improvement. Look, Trent's I never wanted Trent to be a world-class defender. I don't need him to be a world-class defender. I just need him to be good. I'd rather him be a good defender, but world-class going forward than the other way around, especially in today's football. That's what fullbacks are doing now. Dani Alves was a good defender. Jordi Alba was a good defender, but they were world-class going forward. It weren't the other way around. And I think that's all Trent needs to be. I don't think Trent gets the praise when he deserves praise. Against Newcastle, St. Maximin literally had to go onto the other side of the pitch because he couldn't get past Trent all game and had to go against Robbo. They literally swapped him around. He got past Trent once in the opening 5 minutes and everyone's on Twitter, it's going to be a long night for Trent. And what people got to remember is tricky, quick wingers, especially like a St. Maximin, will sometimes go past a fullback. It is allowed. It is allowed. It does happen, guys. And he didn't get cooked all game at all. St. Max actually had to go to the other side of the pitch, And
Mitoma cooked him more.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought Trent had a. It's been really good the last couple of games. His defending's much better. His one-on-one defending. I've never actually been that. I think his one-on-one defending is arguably the best out of all the English right backs. Right?
This is where I didn't get the notion, Jamie.
Because his stats. You go on his stats. He's number one for it. Yeah, out of all the English right backs. Yeah. By the way, did anyone talk about Trippier's mistakes to Liverpool's 2 goals against Newcastle? Positionally, defensively? No, because the agenda ain't with Trippier. Did anyone talk about Reece James costing Chelsea the game against West Ham on the back stick? No, because there's no agenda there. We got to stop this narrative that all fullbacks are perfect. It has to stop. If you're in today's football, the top fullbacks in the world are all attack-driven. They're all attack-driven. Danny Carvajal is a decent fullback. I wouldn't say defensively great, but he's good going forward. All the best fullbacks in world football at the moment are all attacking fullbacks because it's the way the game is changing. And I think people have just hung out Trent to dry too much. And it ain't just like people on Twitter and fans and stuff like that. It's people like the media, Sky Sports News and stuff like that, doing like articles on it and votes on it. Is Trent really a defender and stuff like that? It's just disgusting.
It's just us, though, Jamie. It's us. I blame us as a fan. I blame us for that one, Jamie. Sorry. I blame us for that one because what we do, and what I try not to do, is if a player makes a mistake, I try not to single him out because I know that happens in a game of football. You're never going to be perfect. There's only odd games where you're like, okay, cool, I dominated today and I didn't do anything wrong. You are going to make mistakes as a football player. I think what we do, we kind of highlight it a lot more. Our fan base, we do it too much. And I think then it gives fuels to the other fan base and then it gives fuel to the media to then call him out on it. So if we kind of handle it from our side and we go, do you know what? We understand he made it. I'm not saying we can't speak on it, but we understand he made a mistake. Let's not just make a massive, show about it, make a massive deal about it. Look, it happened. Let's move past it. Because what we're doing is creating narratives. Now Trent can't get over it because he's now playing well. We're still worried about him 1v1. We're like, he 1v1 this season since he's been back off the World Cup. No one's really cooked him. And the players are allowed to go past you. That's the whole point of being a winger. A winger is trained to isolate his fullback and go past him. And more or less, it's going to happen if you're quick, if you're tricky, if you have a bit of smarts about you. It doesn't matter how good the fullback is. People got past Cafu. People got past Roberto Carlos. We would say, well, they're world class. Yes, but people still got past them. People still dribbled past them and created chances. It's going to happen in a game of football. So I think if we can kind of handle the narrative from our end as a fan base, then it doesn't push it to the other fan bases and then it doesn't push it to the media. Because I think we're the ones who kind of threw a bit of fuel to that fire. Because every time he made a mistake, we're like, oh, Trent, someone got past. Like, bro, there's 2 minutes in the game. Someone ran past him. Like, it's cool. It happens. Let the other guys do their job. It's 11v11. It's not 1v1 around the pitch all the time. It's 11 men versus 11. And if he goes past him, I need Gomez or Virgil or Matip or Konate to cover me because same vice versa. When they cross the ball in the box and I have to header it at the back stick, no one blames the centre-backs for not being in their position. No, I'll help my centre-backs out. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're meant to do as a team. But when we keep highlighting and highlighting and highlighting, that's where the fuel comes from.
Yeah, it's just. No, I get it as well. Like Pat-Man's saying, Liverpool fans hyped him up. If you do hype up a player, there is obviously going to be more attention on that player. But it just weren't Liverpool fans. I mean, the media and all that.
Sorry, Jay. Just quickly.
You can hype
if there's ever a player you should hype up. Like, are you not seeing what this guy has done? Like,
exactly.
Are you actually mental right now? Like, why are we not allowed to hype people up anyway? Why is that such a bad thing? Like,
I agree.
We're hyping up a guy that is getting record assists at right back, and he's hitting passes that no one else in the world can hit. Like, who else are we meant to hype?
Cav, if you've not heard, it's spamming. Because I think I had a big Man United. I actually say it right. There's a Man United fan, obviously Stephen Howson. We all know him. Yeah, he's got a massive YouTube channel, massive Man United following. Right. He says about Trent. Yeah, he says, of course, Trent's going to get loads of assists when you put 100 crosses in a game. Right. That's his look at it. Right. That's his look at it, and that's also what a lot of little people look at. Right. But then you obviously have got visional problems with you. Like, your eyes are fucked. Obviously, because they're not working, because Trent's passing is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And also, how many right backs are excellent with their left foot as well?
Do you know what? I feel sorry for you as a football fan that's living in this current time and is watching a Liverpool game and not appreciating what you're seeing in front of you. Like,
it's mad.
Like, it's like people turning around and going, "Oh, we might hype up Messi too much, It's too much." hype him. Like, what? Hype him. He's the best player in the world. Like, Trent is one of the best playmakers and passers in the world. Hype him. Guess what? He ain't just done nothing. He's won every single trophy available to him. Like, why can't we hype him? Like, okay, he switches off from time to time. His attitude's been poor. Cool. I get that. I'm still going to hype him. He's fucking quality.
Some of the best passers in the Premier League has not won the Champions League as well, bro, and he has.
Yeah. He's won everything at 24. I mean,
some of the so-called best creative players in the Premier League have not won the Champions League. You know what I mean?
It's just... Look, and we go on about being Trent so good on the ball that we ask him to play midfield. what other fullbacks can go? Oh, we want that fullback to play midfield because he's so good on the ball. Did anyone ever ask Cafu and Roberto Carlos to play midfield because they were so good on the ball? I've never understood this. Like, let's get him away from the fullback area. No, he's excellent there.
Yeah.
And look, if you want to go back in time and have your fullbacks not going past the halfway line and you just want defending fullbacks, then Trent's not your man. I agree, right? If you want that sort of fullback, you want a fullback that just stays in line with your back four. They don't go past the halfway line. Like Liverpool under Houllier with Carragher and Marcus Babbel, real strict fullbacks that stay back, in line with your back four. Then Trent's not your man. But if you want a fullback that's aggressive and can attack and is quality on the ball and can defend, then Trent's your man. Did Barcelona ask Jordi Alba not to go past the halfway line and just stay in a back, in line with your back four? It was like, no. We want you as like the second winger, because your ability on the ball is so good. But look, was Jordi Alba and people like that defensively got at? No, because they played in a side that was arguably the greatest footballing side you've ever seen that kept the ball all the time. I mean, Mascherano played centre back in that team because no one lost it because they kept the ball. Liverpool. Look, when you play high risk, high reward football like we used to, right? We're sort of going back to it now. When you play with that risk and that intensity, your fullbacks are going to get caught out. It's just a natural way because the way we're playing doesn't mean they're shit. You know what I mean? And we know we look at Robbo. Robbo's defensively better than Trent because Robbo's naturally got a more defensive brain than Trent has. But we're talking about Trent, who is a young midfielder that we asked to be trained as a fullback so we can get into our first team. For me, he's done a world-class job. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And Vinny might cook him.
He's won everything.
Exactly. And yes, and Vinny might cook him today. But I've seen Vinny cook every single fullback in world football. So, what's him? Why are we going, Trent's shit now?
It's so crazy because it's like we never respect the players he's playing against. It's like, no, because he's good, everyone else is meant to be shit. Like, no, that's not how it works. There are going to be world-class wingers. Vinicius Jr. is one of the world-class wingers in the world, bro. And if he goes past him. Then we need the covering from the centre-backs. That's all it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
It's like when Martinelli does him. Everyone goes, Martinelli's done him. He's in his pocket and all that. I see Martinelli go past every fullback because he's that sort of player. It's just...
What he's meant to do, Jamie. That's what he gets paid to do. Go past players in the pitch.
I don't understand this negativity over... Like, if Trent, I've always said it, Trent at its best, if you allow Trent to be Trent in this team and let him be at his absolute fluent best, Trent will win us more games than he will lose us games. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And
just
you really
enjoy,
reckon a world-class manager?
Enjoy him.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think a world-class manager like Jurgen Klopp, for all these years at Liverpool, has not looked at Trent and gone, you're such a liability? But I'm going to keep playing you every single week. You know what I mean?
Bro. I say.
And Roberto Carlos came out and said if he was Brazilian, he would have played for Brazil in the World Cup. I mean,
it's just what we need to carry on doing because what I've noticed as well, because obviously I don't think it should ever be 1v1. The way we've been defending, and I've done it on my stream when I did the preview show, we defend as a 5 now, and I really enjoy that because now it's 2v1 all the time, and it doesn't allow just Trent on his own. And I like that. And then we just hit them on the counter attack. So at times tonight, you're going to see that. And I don't want us to change tonight and just leave players up. No, defenders are 5 in there, and even drop the striker back or as the 6th man in there if you want that to be the thing. But that's what I want to see tonight. I don't want to just see Trent defending 1v1 all the time. He needs to be defending with 2v1.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No, it's all right.
I've just got rid of you.
Yeah, no,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, people. It's just about listening, and I was just reading what Pat-Man said as well. But Pat-Man, you should have been listening as well, because when I made the point about Bajcetic and Rooney, I wasn't comparing Rooney how he finished. I was comparing him when he first started.
Yeah,
so take your own advice about listening.
The first few games, weren't it? Rooney only played a handful of games, so went for 30 mil. That's what we were saying.
Hindsight, listen more.
So let's get on to Real Madrid. Obviously,
So-
Real Madrid they've got some players out. Obviously, Toni Kroos is out. Mendy is out. Diaz is out, and Tchouaméni, the big one, because he has been
Baller.
excellent, tremendous for France in the World Cup as well. That's a massive miss. So, this is a potential team that they've got out right now for both sides. Let's put it on the screen right now so we can get a full look at it there, guys.
Mhm.
So, Matt, this is the potential team from Madrid. Dani Ceballos, Camavinga and Modric. Valverde in that attacking area where he probably should be more of a midfielder for me, Valverde, but then Benzema and Vinicius. Guys, who scares you the most in that Madrid side?
Modric.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
one, ain't he?
Uh,
Camavinga, young guy. I like Camavinga, but
to be
Danny,
fair, Valverde as well.
yeah, you got the Arsenal reject over there. I mean, apparently he's having a good time
All
with
in
it.
that now, man. He's doing well, Jamie. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Apparently he's doing really well at Real Madrid. I think
He is.
do you know what? I think he's one of them players that just didn't suit English football. That's all it was.
You could see the ability was there. You could
Yeah,
see he had something about him. He just never really materialized
Some-
for him, did it?
Some people don't. Some people just don't enjoy the league they're in. There, it doesn't mean they're a bad footballer by any stretch of imagination. But no, he's apparently been really good for Madrid. Do we see a problem with Militao? I don't rate him. I don't know about you guys.
No, I don't
Oh,
rate
no,
Modric
he's good.
centre back.
No, I think he's good. He
Yeah.
is rash. He is rash, but when he's on it, he has got all the attributes to be a good centre back.
Yeah,
Like he does have that sort of bozo gene in him, but
he does.
I think he's good at. And do you know what? Alongside Rudiger as well, it was just a bit of a nutcase. It's just they could defend everyone at the game. They could also be an absolute car crash.
That's what happens when you have a MacBook still.
I had the same problem.
I'm like, hold on a minute, it's ringing on both.
There you go. They're not going to leave you alone now. Yeah, Rudiger and Militao. I've never been the biggest Militao fan. I think he reminds me a lot of Gabriel from Arsenal. He can be really good in spells and then really rash out of nowhere. Rudiger. Look, I've never really rated Rudiger that much until he had that season with Chelsea the other year when he looked unbelievable. And then before that, he always looked a bit dodgy and all that. I don't know how he's done for Real Madrid this season because I haven't watched many Real Madrid games, so I'm not sure how he's been. But I still think that's a weakness there, Militao and Rudiger. I don't know about you guys as a partnership. I think Liverpool could affect that.
I think they're both Rudiger more so because we've seen it at Chelsea when he played in a 3 or a 5-man defense. He really benefited from it because he just had that license to sort of carry the ball into midfield and just be a bit crazy. And he became quite a good goal threat as well. But I think in a traditional back four, he can be exposed. Sometimes, well, all the time, he's aggressive in his challenges. And I think really intelligent footballers can use that against him. So he's somebody that can be got at. But you've got Alaba alongside him, who is pretty switched on defensively. Obviously played numerous positions, actually. Really good game awareness. And then Modric and Camavinga in front of him. So they always, the thing with this Madrid side is they always have cover, both centrally and on the flanks. Like Valverde will get back to support Carvajal. Vinicius will come back as well and work hard. Benzema will often drop in a little bit as well. There's no real carriers defensively, which is why you have to play quick, and get on quite quickly. Because if you build up slowly, they will help each other out. They're a real unit. Even though that kind of contradicts what I'm about to say, is that they actually can concede goals. So,
I haven't really seen a lot of anger. See a lot of Real Madrid, but that is a good team. I mean, that midfield's good. Benzema. Let's have a look what Benzema's doing this season. No, let's see if we go and have a look. He's 35 now, man.
he didn't play the last game. I'm not sure if he was ill or whether they just rested him for this game.
He was recovering from a knock.
So he's got 11 goals in 13 matches, which is mad.
That's
and he's 35. massive threat still. His career stats, look at that. 339 goals in 628 games, 1 in 2 for Real Madrid. That is mad. What a player. What a player he is. So he's in form. Vinicius Junior, we know, is one of the best wingers in world football right now. Is this man important tonight, guys, for us?
Yeah, 100%.
Jordan Henderson, who I think has been pretty decent this season when he's played, especially the last couple of games. I think. Oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? There we go. That's better. I think we've.
Hey, that's cool. I've not seen that view before.
There you go. Never have I. Just get. Just press everything the thing came up.
No one ever uses it. That's why.
I think Henderson last couple of games. Look, you can say what you want about Hendo on the ball, technically, right? Yes, we know he's got that lovely what he likes to do when he gets wide, that outside the foot curling away from goal cross that never works, but he does it nevertheless. But it's what he does on and off the ball. You know, he's pressing. I think Klopp made a light of this after the Everton game. When Hendo plays well, Liverpool usually play well. And, you know, and it's his pressing off the ball, his pressing with the ball, his intensity, what he plays with is such at a high level. You know, there was a reason he was the catalyst in our midfield when we won Premier League and Champions League. People like to diss that and pretend it was everyone else, right? But he was a massive part of that, right? A massive part of that, yeah. And I think because his name's Jordan Henderson and he's a Mackham, and I think we don't give him the praise when it's deserved. Yes, when he's terrible, we're all very negative, and we're rightfully so. He's been bad, he's been terrible, and when he's bad, see, when Hendo's bad, my one thing with Hendo, when he is bad, he is bad. You know, it is quite a shocking thing. But when he's playing well, and he's doing part for the team, the reason why Trent has not been that exposed the last few games is because of Hendo. I don't know about you, Enzo. I don't feel Hendo gets the love he should deserve.
I think it's the team in general because, as I said, I think we've been defending as a 5 now in terms of the midfield, and we're doubling up so nothing can either get through the passing lanes through the middle or down the sides. So I don't think it's just solely down to him, but it's also Mo Salah as well have to be credited because he's been helping in terms of the defending side of the game. He's not just staying up there like he normally does. Look, down that side of the pitch, we're going to need all the help. I think even on the other side, because Valverde has all the energy for days. He's got speed. He can finish as well. I think both flanks, we've got to defend as a unit and don't allow simple, threaded passes from Dani Ceballos or Modric into our final third. And I think that's how we're going to be able to beat these guys. But look, hopefully everything goes to plan. Hopefully everyone's fit and ready to go tonight. I'm looking forward to the game. I hope you all are looking forward to the game. I just have one problem with the team, Jamie. I don't know if you set that up for. I want to know.
No, I haven't set this up. This is
Oh, okay, cool. I was just thinking. I saw Matip.
We're going to set it up in a minute.
I thought maybe you had an issue with someone else, but
no. I was going to say to Matip. So I haven't set this team up, guys. I'm not that clever. This is a they think could be the team for both sides going into the night's game. I think they're putting Matip in there because maybe of his more experience, maybe. But for me, look, I've had a go at Joe Gomez plenty of times, but I've got to give him credit. He's been Liverpool's best defender, definitely last 2 games, and I think he's been great. And again, I don't think Joe's got the credit where he should be getting it. When he's playing well, let's give him credit. That's to do with all players as well. We're very easy to go when someone's crap, I told you so sort of thing, and he's rubbish and he's been pants and stuff like that. And I was watching your play ratings the other day, and you're bigging up Joe, and I've been on shows you like that before, and I was like, no, Ends, but you was right this time, right? I'll give it to you. You were right. Joey, people were coming like, I think it was who was on with you? Savage and Sabiri. And Sabiri's talking about you arguing back and forth about Joey that game, and I can understand what you're both were saying, but I thought Joey was excellent. his covering for Matip in that game, I think it was the Everton game, was first class. Matip was all over the shop. Gomez was covering him loads. He was running behind. He was covering his areas. He was getting to the ball and helping Matip out. I think the game the other day, him and Van Dijk were equally as good. And we don't give praise to Joey quick enough. Again, when players are in form, they shouldn't just be dropped out because you think another player is better. Matip's not in form right now. So for me, Virgil and Joey keep their place against Madrid. Simple as that.
But that's the thing, because I think, like what you said, we're ready to throw players under the bus as soon as they have a poor 2 minutes in a game, let alone a whole game. But when they play well consistently over a period, I'd say consistently, I'm saying the last 5 games, and we still don't want to give credit. It's crazy to me. So why do we always go to the extreme? And we wonder why, as a fan base, the other fans just think that we're muppets half the time, or the things that we say, because we're not ready to give players credit when we need to. When we don't, we throw them under the bus. Trent has been good. Trent has been so good since after the World Cup. If he has a poor game tonight, I'm pretty sure the fan base are going to be like, "Oh, nice shit. He's not good enough to play at right back." 100%. If Trent has one of those games, instead of going, no, he's been consistent. It's just one game. So, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens.
I think with Joey, it's just a bit of PTSD, isn't it? Like, because he does just do these like ridiculous things, and it makes it very hard to trust him, because he can be having a good game and then he just does something completely ridiculous, like a silly back pass, or just misreads a header, or just doesn't, read the game, and he just makes that mistake that ultimately leads to a goal, and it usually does lead to a goal as well. And I think it's just that fear, as well as he's playing, you're just always waiting for that moment in a game where he makes that mistake and then it costs us. And I just think like it's just going to take time for him. He's going to have to put together a run of really, really good performances, like mistake free, and then I think we'll be able to get back to that point where we were in the title winning season, where we're like, nah, this guy is good. And then when he does make a mistake, it's like, okay, it's an anomaly. We go.
Can I ask you a question, then, Kev? How many games does that look like? Because since the injuries to the back line, can we say he hasn't been consistent, or are we saying he's not?
I'm just trying to think back through the games. So Newcastle, he was good, yeah. Then it was Everton, he was good. Who was prior to that? I'm trying to remember the games now. I feel like there's been mistakes in there. I feel like is there been a mistake leading to a goal? I'm thinking back is maybe the Brighton games. They weren't too long ago.
Yeah, but was that, we say that's a mistake, but when we say that was great play by Matoma instead of being poor.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the level you're judged by as a centre back, isn't it? Like Virgil has been exceptional because he can do everything, and he has the ability to control every situation and the passing and all of this and that. Whereas you just judge your centre back by being completely mistake free. You shouldn't even talk about a centre back in a game. Like, when you're doing player ratings and stuff, a good sign that your centre backs and your DM's done well is if you're just not talking about them. And that's the trouble. I feel like with Joey, we usually come away from the game and there's got to be a moment we have to speak about because he's made a mistake. And it's incredibly harsh and it's probably not right. But I just think the confidence he has in himself and the confidence the fan base has with him is just particularly low. And like I say, it's just got to take time. But I'm certainly on the side as a Liverpool fan to try and support these guys and support Joey, because he's only 25. He's shown that he has the ability to be a very good centre back, and I just hope that he does come good. But I don't know if he'll ever truly be the guy that Liverpool need, to be honest with you.
And that's the thing. What I'm saying, as long as we keep up that that mindset of like, let's now look. He was a major part of us winning the title. He's now been back being consistent, and we still have an issue. And this is what I'm saying about the fan base. Listen to how crazy it is. I saw Trent do the same thing Joe Gomez did when St. Maximin faint like he was going to cross it, and then Trent turned his back and no one said nothing about it.
Yeah, but Trent offers so much to us, in a positive way as well. So that's the difficulty. I mean, Joe Gomez has never scored a goal. Do you know what I mean? He's not a threat in the opposition's box either. His passing isn't particularly anything amazing. He doesn't run out into the midfield like Matip does. So all that we are judging him on is his defensive ability as a centre-back. And then so when you make that mistake,
everything that
will
you
have a
just said
big
he's been
swing.
doing in his last few games. So everything you just said about running from the defense, passing out from the back, and being a leader, that's exactly what he's been doing. I would say in his last 4 games.
I'd say he's been okay. I wouldn't say he's been
That's
particularly good
fair
at anything. But the thing is, Enz, I'm happy with okay. If I walk away from a performance and I say Joe Gomez is being okay to good, I'm happy with that. Like, I'm totally cool with that. Like, I'm not expecting miracles. We've got so much quality elsewhere on the pitch. I don't need him to be spraying Virgil van Dijk 50, 60-yard diagonal passes. I don't care about all of that stuff. I just want to come away from a game thinking he dealt with every situation as best he could and nothing led to a goal. It's always going to lead to chances because it's football, but don't make a mistake that leads to a goal and then build from there. Because I generally do think once he's confident, and he has shown it. I'll give you credit. In past few games, he has shown that pace, stepping out, the aggression. He's covered his fullback well. He has been doing them things well. But that is the baseline for a centre back anyway for me.
And that's what we should be praising him for, not beating him with a stick on. This is what I'm saying. That's you can't go one way left, far left, and the other way.
I agree. Yeah,
I agree, you guys. I agree. The Joey debate is that I'll just give credit where it's due. The last 2 games he's been great for us, so he stays in the team. For me, it's as simple as that. Matip's been shocking. Matip don't look like he likes the ball at the moment. Look, he runs away from the football right now. So I don't know what's happening to Joel. So I can't have that in my team right now. So look, if Kanate was fit, I don't think there's a discussion about anything. So, but Kanate is not fit. If Kanate is fit, it's Kanate and Virgil, and that is the partnership. For me, that's Liverpool's first choice partnership going forward anyway. And then Gomez is probably third in line with Matip fourth in line for me because of the age thing as well. You know, I don't know if Matip's going to actually be here next season. I'm looking at that. I think Matip's only got a year left. I don't see Liverpool extending Matip's contract when you've just extended Joe's contract in 25, 26, and you've got Kanate there. Yeah. I think they like Sepp van der Berg. Don't get me at chat, by the way. Don't get me. But I think the club likes Sepp van der Berg, so they might be looking at him for the future as well as fourth choice. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen in the future. But let's pick this team. Let's pick this team because it might be some surprises. We might have to debate a bit, but it might be an easy pick. But let's start with the midfield. Let's go midfield first, guys. So I think we've got our whole midfield fit. I believe Marshmallow's back as well. So
Thiago's out.
Thiago's out. I think is Thiago the only midfielder not fit?
Yeah.
That's mad. So we've got 10 choices in midfield. Who do we go with? Who's your like Fabinho? I haven't mentioned Fabinho. I know a lot of people have been saying Fabinho's looked better lately. And the whole thing of like you get legs around Fabinho, he looks a better player. I've been saying this for a while now. I don't want my DM to only look good if you've got legs around him. I want my main DM to be good because he's got legs. Do you know what I mean? Because he can move around the pitch. I don't want it to be. I think Stefan's helped massively because I think he's improved Fabinho's game because he has got them legs, he's got the movement, he's got the positional awareness as well. Something I don't think we mentioned about Stefan. His positional awareness is excellent. I don't think he's got enough credit for that so far. And Fabinho still worries me. I don't know about you guys. He still worries me. And do we go with Fabinho as our main DM in this game?
Yeah.
Well, have we got a choice, to be fair? Have we got a choice?
No. I think you have a choice. But I think to the point, football evolution is changing at the moment. So there was a day when you could just leave your 6 in the park on his own and then he'll just run around and close down all the spaces. It's now changed. You're going to need better players around now because a lot more of the teams in the Premier League have more technically gifted midfielders. So you can't just leave a 6 on his own. So you're going to need legs in and around him. Look, Man United play with a 2. Arsenal play with a 2. Chelsea plays with a 2. We're the only ones that decided to, and even Man City plays with a 2. We're the only ones that sometimes decide to just play with a 1 in there. And Casemiro can't do his job on his own. He needs someone next to him. He needed an Eriksen. He needed a Fred or McTominay, if you want to put it that way. Partey has Xhaka next to him in terms of the midfield too. So you do sometimes have to change it up slightly and have legs around him. I'm not saying he's lost his legs. I think it's more mentally than physically. I think that's where he's at the moment. But I think now he's probably enjoying his game slightly a bit better now. And maybe we're going to start seeing a Fab doing what Fab normally does. But look, he needs more games than just the two for me to go, oh, no, he's back doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
adding Bajcetic and adding Henderson around him has massively improved him because he needs help. He can't just be doing that alone 6 in the midfield on his own. And then there's players around just playing 1-2s around him while Henderson's way up the pitch and Thiago's way up the pitch. Then he's in the middle on his own and wondering why people are playing 1-2s around him. So I'll put him back in there. But it's up to you guys.
No, I agree. I think he has, again with Fabinho, he worries me. He does still worry me. But his form at the moment, he probably just edges it. I think Keita being left out, I think it's a bit harsh. I didn't think Keita did a lot wrong to be dropped out this team. But, Hendo... Hendo's come back in for Naby basically, ain't he? And I think what Hendo gives Klopp in this midfield, Naby can't, and I think that is why Naby's not in this team right now. And then look, this geezer here, he's probably I don't know about you guys, but he's probably undroppable right now, isn't he?
First name on the team sheet.
There you go, Cavs there, man. He's fully there. He's fully.
I'm not even joking, by the way.
He's arguably Liverpool's best midfielder right now.
He's player of the month. What more do you need to know?
Player of the month. We can't say anything past that.
Have you heard him speak in interviews, by the way?
Yeah.
He's a sound kid, man.
He's very scouse. For a Spanish lad.
Nah, he's a lovely lad.
So, do we go Hendo? Has Hendo played too many games? Do you reckon this is going to be Hendo's last game, and he has a rest against Palace, and Naby comes in for him there?
He likes playing Naby against Palace as well.
Yeah, because I've been saying for a while. I think Hendo's that player now that you give him 3 or 4 games, he can play at his highest level, and then give him a little break, and then bring him back to keep him at that level. Don't know how you guys feel about that.
I think you've got to go with Sam again, and definitely then give him the rest at Palace. I don't think he can go again because you'll start to see him that sort of intensity drop off and not being able to get to the ball as quickly as he is doing. So, got to go with the same midfield. Naby is a bit of a liability, especially against a team like Real Madrid. We've already seen it, unfortunately. Elliott, we've spoken about, probably too big of an occasion for him, and we said how much he impacts the sort of Trent and Salah down that side as well. Milner, I like Milner, don't get me wrong, and there is games where he could do a job in midfield. I just don't think it's this game because of the opposition. Curtis Jones not really played since he's come back, so Arthur obviously been out for a long time.
Is Arthur actually the Champions League squad? I don't think he is. I don't know.
I don't know if they've changed it and added him to it, but he probably is. Who knows?
Because it was changed.
Probably not
changed for the knockouts, weren't it? So I don't know if he got put back in or not. But I think ends. Cav, do we just go Hendo?
Yeah. I'll put him in.
I mean, it's worked the last couple of games, ain't it? Why?
Plus the distances between the games, Jamie, is not. I think they've played 2 games over a space of 2 weeks, so I don't think he's not had like a game on Saturday, then midweek, then game on Saturday, midweek. He's only had 2 games on a weekend, so probably that's why we've seen that he still had legs.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go forward line in. Let's do forward line next. Right,
you might see a pattern forming here, Joe, in my comments, especially.
Yeah. Right. Do we think Darwin's starting this game?
Yeah.
He
trained, like you said, if he trained in the full training session, then I can't see Klopp not playing him.
Left or centre?
Left.
Leave it as it is, left.
Yep. Let's put him in then. We're going Gakpo, or are we going for the experience of Bobby? What do you think? What do you think
Go on,
Klopp's
Kev.
going to do with this game? Do you think?
Go on,
Do you
Kev.
think he's going to go? Do you think he's going to go with Gakpo and keep the three as it is, or do you
Go on,
think he's
Kev.
going to go with the experience of? Is he going to go with the experience of Bobby through the middle?
Because to be fair, Jamie, just before Cav answers, he wasn't a big fan of the guy that you're about to put in the middle. So I just want to see where his mind is at now.
I hate this. I hate this.
Go on. What? I'm lost.
Oh no, because I never thought I'd be sitting here saying that I'm going to choose any man over Bobby, and now I've got to choose Gakpo over him.
So Jamie, if you watch Cav, Cav's been saying that the guy's slow, he doesn't know what he offers to the team. So now he has the option now to pick him in the starting 11. So let's see what he does.
No. I said I've not seen what this guy can do for us just yet. And then I held my hands up. I said, after the Everton game, I said, okay, I get it now. I've seen what this guy could potentially do for us. And then he had another game in which he scored and he played well. So don't make me say it. Please just put him in there.
I just put him in.
I need to hear you say it.
Yeah.
I need to hear you say it.
But
'cause I didn't
why
know
do you-
what you put.
Kev, why do you hate Gakpo?
No. It's not a hate. It's not a hate thing. It's not. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't know this about Kev. I'm learning something today.
No. I said after a few games, right? I did a post match after the first 4 or 5 games, and I said, I see that he's a good player and he's a calm player. He's got that sort of Dutch ability about him, close control or whatever. I said, but I think my fear with Gakpo is the rest of the team has to be playing so well to see any kind of quality come out of him. And I don't think he's that guy that's just going to lead us. I think he'll just be a good part of a good team. And I said, I'm not too sure how much I like that. I need people to be coming into this side now, i.e. new signings, that grab, this team and drag us forward. And I was like, I'm not sure if he's that guy. But I said, I'm open and I want to see what he can do. I'm not going to judge him just yet, but that's my initial thoughts. And yeah, he's on his way to prove me wrong. So let's see, right? Let's see. That's all I'm saying.
That was the politician answer. He basically called him shit. He didn't understand why we brought him away, offered to the team. He called him slow. And he was just like, why would we use this guy in the team? We could have used the money elsewhere. But, if you want to go the political way, he just answered, that's cool. But I remember what he said.
I'm back. He's a Liverpool player and I'm going to back him, right? But I have my reservations.
Kev just gave us the Keir Starmer answer.
Look, you talk to me about Nunes. You talk to me about Nunes and Bajcetic, right? I'll back these boys to the hill, okay? But you asked me about Gakpo. I'm going to be honest. I'm saying I'm not too sure about it just yet. All right?
That's fair enough. I ain't going to question that. Right. Well, the reason I think Klopp likes Gakpo, as we've been saying, he plays in his false 9 position where, where he comes deep, we make like a diamond in that midfield. I think that's why the midfield has been more protected as well. Like, it has been better because it's more compact. You play that diamond formation almost in midfield. And then that's why these two are playing better, because they sort of in front of goal more. And you end up in sort of that position, don't you?
Yeah.
Where they're almost inside forwards again, like wide centre forwards, basically. And that's why Mo's look better as well. And I think that's the way we used to play, and I think that's suiting the system right now. And I think that is but it still wouldn't surprise me, because I know Klopp, and big games like this, he does like Bobby, and if he's fit in a big game, it wouldn't shock me if Bobby does play over Gakpo tonight in that central forward position. That would, if I saw that as the team sheet tonight and Bobby's in for Gakpo, I wouldn't actually be shocked about it, because he does like going to Bobby for that big game experience in Europe. So,
yeah.
But
and
for me, that
football.
three. Got it. There you go. Go on, Cam. Say it with Jess. There you go. What I love.
Enz, what's your thoughts?
Listen, I'm glad you.
Who's a better better footballer right now, Gakpo or Firmino?
Who's the better footballer?
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby's the better footballer.
Yeah, of course.
I can't knock that. Bobby's a better footballer, but
Big up Uncle Al,
if
but-
I need a player that can offer something similar, I'm not going to say the same, but something similar, and also score me some goals. Yeah,
You'd have got a Cuckoo.
now I look at the front three. I'm confident Nunes can score, Gakpo can score, and Salah can score. Before it used to be like, apart from this season, to be fair, before Bobby got his injury, he was actually scoring goals. So I can't even knock him. But previous Bobby, who used to be like, he would pass up the opportunity to score. I know Gakpo ain't doing that. If he gets a sighted goal, he's shooting, and he won't be this clever touch that I see most of the guys do. So
there's goals there. That free, there is goals there, and that free is far more unpredictable than the last time we played Real Madrid in the final.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it's going to give Ancelotti a bit of a. And look, if memory serves me rightly, at the beginning of the season, didn't Ancelotti name Darwin as one of the strikers for the future?
Yeah. I can't remember him saying that.
He was naming a few. He was naming a few of the next generation
stars,
of strikers.
Next generation strikers. He named Darwin. So yeah, there we go. We've got Darwin in. Who I do feel will be a superstar for Liverpool in the years to come. I really do feel that. Right, defence. Fullbacks, we're going to normal. Robbo and Trent.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, someone might want a conversation about Gomez at right back, possibly, but it won't be me.
I know people are talking about Gomez at right back, but Trent's on fire right now.
2 assists too.
And he's defending okay. Look, there will be a game. Look, I'm doing a watch along tonight. I think Savage and Cav are doing the watch along together. We're all going to be sitting there tonight, and everyone's going to come when Trent does get cooked by Vinny. But everyone chill, because Vinny cooks everyone. So that's just not let's not worry about right now. If Gomez played right back, I'm sure he'll get cooked by Vinny. It's just that's just not.
Vinny's
let's not go. Yeah, let's not go and damn play.
Vinny would cook him, and then Enzo would give him an 8 out of 10.
We're coming with.
I see where you're going, Kev. It's all right. It's all right, bro. It's all good. It's all good.
I already want to take it back. I don't usually come for ends.
Cav, this is the most violent I've ever heard Cav go.
It's all good, man. It's all good. That's a fire. Hear it. I shot the fire first, so it's all good.
Right, centre back partnership. Do we think we just going to stick with Virgil and Gomez, or do you reckon Matip has a chance?
So here's the thing, Jamie. For the Newcastle game, I did take Gomez out of the team because I was thinking more tactically in the game. So when you watch my preview, I said I'd rather go Matip because I thought of the height of the Newcastle players. This game, I'd probably put Gomez in based on, I think it's going to be more speed than aerial duels. I think it will be more speed in behind. We're going to need the speed to cover around Trent, especially with Vinny there, and also Valverde because he's rapid as well, just to cover. So Virgil will cover the other side. So I think we need to go with more speed than aerial for this one. But yeah, in the last game, I did take him out of the team just in case, some people say I have an agenda. I did not put him in the team in the last game. I actually took him out, even though I thought he was on form.
There you go. And look, and Gomez playing on that side along Trent. You got that pace there to cover Trent if Billy's doubling up on him or anything like that. So you got that there as well. Where I don't think Matip won't be able to get across the pitch like Joey will. So yeah, you don't really need height for this game, do you? How do you think Virgil did on his game back, by the way, guys? Against Newcastle.
Perfect game, right? Yeah, perfect game. Player gets sent off, 10 men. He could just cruise through the game.
Yeah, I thought he was all right. I thought he had a really good game, actually. I know a lot of people were still saying he doesn't engage with the defender and the forward enough. But if you actually watch the way he defends, he backs into the penalty area with Virgil, and then the attacker runs out of space. And then has to give away the ball. And that happened numerous times. That's just the way Virgil defends. Some defenders engage, and if you engage and the attacker does you, then they got all that space in behind you. Virgil just.
I think he said this before. He said before in an interview that he tries to force the attacker into a position whereby he can't directly impact the goal. And then if he can engage in a challenge, he will do. But he says that if I can't stop him from shooting, I'll push him in a direction whereby I know Ali's got it covered. So, you know, that relationship that those two have is pretty special, to be honest. So even when St. Max was, you remember when he cut in and he went by Robbo? And then if you watch Virgil doesn't dive in, you know, which a lot of defenders would and maybe like give a penalty away. He stands up, which, you know, sometimes he's not quite got right this season. But he just pushes, he puts his hands on St. Max and he gives him a little nudge to get him off balance. He still gets the shot away, but Ali then palms it onto the bar. And
you know what?
It all looks a bit like it's not ideal, but actually he kind of did deal with the situation in his own way. And usually when Virgil gets them things right, you know, he's the best at it.
Cav, I thought it might have been a foul, you know, because I looked at it. I was like, did he just shove him over, bro?
He shoved him, yeah, 2 hands as well. Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe the ref didn't see that, but I'm like, that's a bit. Yeah.
Oh, what against the
Yeah, against St. Maximin, because he looked like he just shoved him out the way. He's like,
he did just shove him. He did shove him. By the way,
I've got to admit,
go on, Kev.
Sorry, I was just going to add, I don't particularly like that situation. I think's happened too often this season, and we've been caught out. And I don't particularly like trusting your keeper that much. But he's been doing that, and Ali's been doing that throughout our sort of title charges and Champions League success.
Yeah.
So you can't really argue against it, because more often than not, they're good enough and they trust each other enough, and it works. But I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit risky. That I'd rather you just engage and try and take the ball off the player.
Yeah, I agree. He has got to do it sometimes. There's no doubt. Now, obviously, we've got to talk about Alisson quickly. Right. There's still one thing that annoys me about the game against Newcastle, and that was Jamie Carragher's commentary. Jesus Christ. Never have him doing it again. He gave Maximum man of the match.
oh, man.
He gave St. Maximum man of the match, who never had a shot on target. Right? I don't understand it. And then he's bigging up Alisson, right? He was Alisson was man of the match by a country mile, right? We've got arguably the 2 best goalkeepers in the world going 1-on-1 today, haven't we? Courtois and Alisson. Who's the best, guys?
Alisson.
And that you can take your Liverpool hat off for this as well if you want to go Courtois. Don't bother me.
Alisson all day. I always look at a goalkeeper and go, what can he not do? Can anyone tell me what Alisson can't do? Like, he can do everything. I've seen weakness and frailties in Courtois' game. Look, he's been performing good for Real Madrid, but if you guys watch him consistently, he doesn't always perform like that. Alisson, no matter how poor we are defensively, he still performs.
Yeah.
So for me personally, unless you can tell me a weakness he has,
there isn't. Back in the day, he's when he's got the ball at his feet, often he'd take too long on it, and he got caught out on a couple of occasions.
I think that's what Pac-Man said. Yeah. That's probably it.
Oh, fair play. Yeah,
but even he said that he's pretty much perfect modern keeper.
But
he's got that out of his game.
Yeah, that has to make sense, because that's situational. Yeah. I think there's times when he's delayed on the ball. That doesn't mean he's not good on the ball at his feet.
Yeah, I've seen Ederson is probably the best at it. Do the same mistakes a couple of times. There was a bit of time when Neuer was going through a shocking spell and doing the same thing. The thing with the goalkeeping situation, there's no one to bail you out, right? You make a mistake, it's highlighted. If a midfield, say Henderson makes a mistake, it might not be highlighted so much because his other midfielders are covering for him, so no one thinks about it and looks back on it. But goalkeeper makes a mistake, there's no cover for him. Everyone just goes for it. I can't really count. I mean, look, everyone's got a weakness. Even Messi's got a weakness somewhere. You know, there's a weakness in people's games, no doubt. But he's pretty much the best modern keeper at this moment in time. I mean, his one-on-ones are incredible. His positioning in goal. When was the last time you saw Alisson make like an aerial world-class save? It's because he doesn't have to.
Bro, he just catches it.
The man, I've never seen a goalkeeper just stand there and take a ball just like that. You know, I think Gary Neville said it once in commentary when he was watching him in the Liverpool game. He said, like, you know, Alisson's just made that look ridiculously easy because it weren't. You know, because his positional play in that goal is top draw.
His footwork in terms of positioning and stepping, how many steps you take, and the length of your stride and the pace at which you move across the goal and come out is the best in the world, in my opinion. And that's why when he makes these one-on-one challenges, he's always there. Always there. Even in the start of that Newcastle game, when St. Max plays through Almiron and Almiron takes the shot and he pulls off the save. It's like, it's just dismissed because it's early on in the game and the team's probably not quite settled yet or whatever.
But it's well class.
No, the save is exceptional. And he's normalizing this now, whereby people are getting one-on-one or getting in on goal. And he's just there. He's there and he's like, makes himself big. He's brave. And like I say, it all comes from his footwork because, you know, like Pope, you know, he runs out, but he's not there quick enough to sort of just kick it away. And he's also, once, you know, tries to head it and the ball's dropping, so he's not read the flat of the ball. That don't happen with Ale. He reads everything, and his timing to engage is perfection. So he's immaculate. And that, if Pope didn't handle that ball and Salah had scored, it'd be like his 5th assist.
Yeah.
And his 5th, I think it's his 5th assist to Salah as well. You know, just them two. It's just, he's, we're bigging him up now, and he's going for Howler tonight, ain't he? But
don't throw it down the universe. Just take that.
It's all right. My hands are totally on wood here.
Okay.
Pause. Table. Saying that, Alisson's a good-looking guy. I ain't gonna lie.
He is a very. This guy, honestly, he should be man of the year every year. What can't he do? Honest to God, man, this guy is blessed.
No, it's not fair. It's not.
How can he rock every single? He can wear black kits, purple kits, yellow kits, green kits.
The man can
have long hair. He can have a mustache. Yeah, clean shaven one week, mustache the next, full beard the following. Like, the guy is just stupid, man.
No, he's a great goalkeeper. He's normalising things that shouldn't be normalised. It reminds me of Peter Schmeichel back in the 90s. He was the same. He was so good. You know, attackers were scared to go one-on-one with him. He had that fear factor about him, you know, and he normalised it. And people didn't give the credit to Schmeichel maybe that he should. For me, Peter Schmeichel is the best goalkeeper I've seen in my lifetime. And yes, he might have played for Man United. And people will say, how can you say that? But I can't dismiss it because he played for Man United. He was out of this world. And Alisson reminds me of him so much in this generation. He reminds me of him so much. And every time, we're rating players on how they look. Don't worry, Pac-Man. Don't worry. As you know, look, Haaland's never going to win any beauty contests. I mean, but you've got some guys over there. You've got a Grealish guy. You know, there's women that are going to City now for a reason. It's because Grealish is there. Trust me. That's the reason.
Diaz is the best looking over there, I think.
You're in Diaz.
I need to stop anyway. Yeah,
Cav, this conversation is going left. Maybe just take it back, please, because I'm going for the whole team.
You can do it on your rankings show ends.
I
want to see that ends. I want to see the ranking list. Best new player.
If I ran a different channel, then cool. But
everyone be like, "This is a strange video, ends. This is a strange video."
Not about ability, about looks. What?
Oh dear. Right, guys, let's go predictions. What are we feeling, guys? What are we feeling here?
4-1. I'm going 4-1.
Hang on. Where's the liquor?
Where's the liquor? On both strikers. 4-1.
4-1.
4-1.
It ends. If this happens, I'll donate 50 quid to your charity. Cav.
I think maybe 2-0. Yeah, same result as the past couple of times out. Take something to the Bernabeu. I hope it's enough because it's going to be a tough game over there. I still think 2 goals doesn't really give you much confidence because they can quite easily turn that around. But yeah, 2-0. Hoping. Well, I'm sure Anfield's going to be absolutely bouncing, so be a good game.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have just come into this game at the right time. You know, my kids are in the hallway. I'm going to slap them up. Right,
yeah, something like that.
I'm not really, guys. Guys, go away. Thank you. That's how you deal with it. They're taking the piss. They're oh,
That's all right.
No, we did. Look, I think we'll win tonight. I think it'll be a close game, 2-1. I'm going 2-1, something like that. I think it'll be a tight game. Away goals don't matter. So, away goals don't matter no more. So, a 2-1 result is a great result. And, we can go to Real Madrid with a lead. I think we need, if we want to go through in this, if we want to go through to the next stage, we have to go to Madrid with a lead for me. We have to go to Madrid for a lead. Because if we go there for a draw or a loss, it's a long night. It's a long night in the second leg. So we definitely have to go there for a win. I think if you go play Real Madrid in Europe, you want them early. Because they only get better and harder to beat as the competition goes on. We have found out ourselves.
Good point.
Many times. You want to get them early. And look, I don't think this Madrid team's excellent at the moment, but the problem is neither are we. And this is the issue. So, but with that front three of Gakpo, Salah and Darwin, there's goals there. There is goals there. The midfield is a lot better than it's been. Trent's in better form now. You've got Virgil in the game again. I think the players are happy in a way because even though they're not playing, Jota being back, Bobby being back, and Virgil coming back, that gives players in the change room. It gives the change room a lift in a way. Your mates are back. They're back. They're available again. It just gives you a lift. The bench looks better. And there's a threat. If so and so ain't playing so well, they know, but Jota's back now. He's going to take my spot. It's just it gives you that fight again, that lift that you need. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win because for me, we have to take a win. We have to take a result to Madrid, and if we take a result to Madrid and we can afford to draw that way, then yeah, I think. Look, I'm going to say it right now. If we beat Real Madrid, we win the European Cup. I'm going that far with it. I don't think PSG are that great. I don't think they're that great. I've seen them this season in their league. I don't even think they're top of their league at the moment, are they? Can't remember. Or they're struggling anyway. Didn't they need a last-minute free kick from Messi the other night to get a 4-3 win? So PSG are not in great form. City are not the City that we're used to right now. They're dropping results. Even though they are second in the league, they're still not the City we know. They're beatable. I just feel like Real Madrid are the team. They are the team in this competition. And if you pass Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, yeah, they're an hard team to beat, but I still fancy us beating them if we played them. Borussia Dortmund, if they get past Chelsea. Don't know about you guys. I might be talking nonsense, but I literally do think, Cav, if we can beat Madrid, we'll go on to win this competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's Madrid, isn't it? 14-time winners. They have such experience in this competition. You never, I think the chat said quite well, you never truly get a leg up on Real Madrid. You never really can just go and beat them. It's always a tough game, and you're always kind of up against it, regardless of what team they put out and you put out. So, it's probably one of the biggest hurdles getting over that experience of playing Real Madrid. After that, everybody else is kind of fair game, I guess. Yeah. There's some exciting teams in there, like Napoli is still,
Yeah, Napoli are dangerous. I forgot about, to be honest, I forgot about Napoli because I don't usually think about Napoli in Europe, but they are tremendous this year, yeah. By the way, guys, I don't think it's a naive statement that I'm making, by the way. You do know we've won it 6 times and we got into the final last year, and I think we've been in the final 3 in 5 years. This ain't a mad statement, by the way. And I know people were saying, leave it out, we couldn't beat Leeds. You do know we finished 5th one year behind Everton and won the European Cup. So it doesn't, Europe is a different beast altogether. And I'm putting Madrid, look, if you get rid of Madrid early, and then you're looking at the way the world, the way the land lays at the moment, City are not the best. And City are probably favourites of the Champions League. And they're not at their best right now. And I don't know how they're going to be for the rest of the season. Bayern Munich coming into a bit of form now. But Union Berlin, or is it Union Berlin or whatever they are, second in the league? It's mad over there right now. You got Borussia Dortmund if they go through Chelsea. And then Napoli. They're the dark horses probably because you don't know what's going to happen. But, I'm not going to count Liverpool out. And I think it's silly to count us out if we beat Madrid. I really do.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
Go on, Ents, if you...
Oh, sorry, nah. I was
Go on, man. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But no, we ain't gonna count them out. They're a good team. But at the same time, we are due to give them a kicking, man. I've watched us time and time again play against them. We dominated that last final and we lost the game. Today's over 2 legs. Can we do it? Hopefully so, because now we've got the different entities. We've got Gakpo, we've got Nunes. Hopefully Salah turns up. And then obviously you've got Bajcetic in the midfield, something different. The back line, looks okay the last 2 games. Virgil's now back. Jota's back. Firmino's back. So we're going to have different options off the bench as well, which is good. And they're missing some key players. We are as well, to be fair, but they're missing some key players. Toni Kroos, he's probably not had the greatest of season, but on his day, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. So, you know what I mean? Tuchemeni, we know we wanted him in the summer. He's a big miss because he's been one of their top performers this season. So, and he had an excellent World Cup himself. Look, I'm up for the game and I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? So it's the reason why I've gone with the 4-2, man. I think we need to turn these guys over now, man. It's about time.
They're true.
The fan needs to be up for it. The players need to be up for it. I'll be up for it. I'm up for it.
It's Anfield. It's Anfield in the Champions League. Like, different, isn't it?
And I think this is the perfect one to play because normally we like to play away and then home. I think if we played them away, they could have probably put us away and then we're like chasing a game at Anfield. I think if we can put them away here, then we can sit in at the Burnabout and then hit them on a counter-attack. I think that's the way we need to attack that game as long as we get the right result here.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of talk at the moment. I'm just looking online. And there's a lot of talk at the moment that Klopp might go with Gakpo, Darwin, Jota, and Salah tonight. Which, if he does that, then I'm sitting here in my boxers. That would, I might be actually touching wood if that game. I'm not gonna lie, but if he plays that team, but then you're putting a lot on Fabinho, and I don't. If he does play that 4, then I don't know if Stefan plays. Then I think it'll probably be Hendo, Fabinho in the midfield because there's no way Hendo's dropping out. So
is he going with a 4-4-2 then in that?
Yeah, or a 4-2, like a 4-2-4 basically, or a 4-2-3-1, something like that, or 4-2, 4-2-3-1, yeah, something like that with Jota in the 10, Gakpo. I think they got it. A lot of people are talking about it right now. So yeah, Gakpo, Jota. I mean, that would be maybe Klopp's thinking we just need to get a victory at Anfield to take there, and then revert back to a more defensive unit in the Madrid game. I mean, it'd be great. And Ancelotti wouldn't expect it because remember, Ancelotti publicly said Liverpool and Klopp are predictable. So what's the most unpredictable thing to do tonight? Is go unpredictable.
Just play 2 at the back. Fuck it.
So maybe that would be great. But I don't want to hear no Salah revenge shit.
Yeah.
Salah's
over that now. I think he's over that point.
I need Mo to be quiet and I need Mo to score tonight. That'll be your revenge, Mo. Get the winner. That'll be your revenge. That'll be your revenge because Mo don't like Madrid. He does not like Real Madrid. But yeah, that'd be mad if he goes in 4. That would be something, I just don't see it though. I'd love it. I think that game. I think we're capable of playing that way in certain games in the Premier League, especially at home. No doubt against teams that probably go 6 deep, play that 4. We've got the capabilities because then you still got 2 on the bench, ain't you? So there's plenty of squads there to do it. But yeah. Right. We're gonna leave it there, guys, on that weird note.
4-2-4.
And what have you got coming up later? Are you doing the watch along?
So we're doing the watch along on Savage's channel, and then we're doing the player rating show after on mine. So that's Ensman TV. You guys can see it in my subtitle anyway. So yeah, man, come along. I'm trying to hit that 400 mark, trying to catch up to these beasts like Jamie and etc. So yeah, man, guys, if you can help out the channel, jump across, man, subscribe to the channel. I also have another channel called the Day After Podcast. If you guys want some interesting conversations and it's non-football related, jump across there.
Yeah.
I've been watching that. I'm not always in the comments on that because what I do, I actually have your show on. So
Okay.
This guy sound really bad, right? So when I go to bed, I have your show on because I've got YouTube. Because I got YouTube Premium, I can have it with my phone off, so my phone don't have to be on. So I just I listen as I go to bed, like as a podcast type away, and that's why I'm not always in the chat on your shows for that. But I do listen to them all the time.
I appreciate that, man. It's late anyway. It's that late night. So.
Yeah,
I like to chat. So basically, what I'm saying, guys, I go to bed with ends every night. So
whoa. My missus will have a problem with that.
That's what I'm saying. Ends is missus, calm.
I'll blame you for this conversation.
What have you got going on, man? You on Grizzly show any time or anything?
No, nothing at the minute. Just be watching the game tonight, and then yeah, no plans. Just ordinary week for me. Working, playing tomorrow. So yeah.
You got game tomorrow? Are you playing? You got training tomorrow?
No, I'm playing tomorrow night. Yeah,
you're playing tomorrow. What is it? Are you playing cage football?
Yeah. So a few times a week I play 5 and 6 aside, but I had a few weeks off, and I went back last week, and it was tough. It was very tough. Yeah. No, I didn't say I was shit. I just said it was tough. So
yeah, everyone wants to have a channel. Everyone wants you to have a channel, Kev.
I'll be popping up throughout the week. Just nothing planned just yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, there you go. No, just subscribe.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Trying to catch these guys, man.
Yeah, you'll definitely get there, Ed. You're doing good stuff. Don't worry about that.
Appreciate
it. Right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a great show, actually. We could talk all day, but we've got shit to do. Unfortunately, we've all got kids, so
I do.
Got to do some parenting now. But I'll be back. I'll be back to. I'll just unsubscribe.
Shut up. What one? He probably subscribed to the other two. Appreciate it.
I love Pat, man. I think he's great. So always be here, Pat, man. Right, from all of us guys, big up. We'll see you later on. Thank you very much for joining us.